recording. I love Nginx. Golden.
Break it to you. Let me break it to you.
Are you having a stroke?
Break it to you.
2. I really need like a legitimate intro for this show.
I'm gonna buy you one of those fucking clompers.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy you shit.
And welcome to another exciting. That was terrible. That was
You're keeping it. Keep it. Roll with
that
it. Go.
was
That's you. That's
legitimately
you. I'm gonna make a
Welcome to
cut.
another
I'm gonna.
exciting
terrible.
I'm gonna make a big
Welcome
fucking.
to DKGWELP.
I'm gonna make you a
I
big.
believe not.
Yeah, it's
That's
gonna be your
staying
birthday
in.
present. A big fucking smash cut of every Kaz intro and how fucking horrible they are.
Yeah. Welcome to DKGWELP. I am your host, King Kaz. I am joined, as always, this week by Curly.
Hello, I'm Curly, the namesake of the show. Welcome.
We got 2 special guests this week because we're going to be talking about all the things E3. We got, not here, and Bryce Castillo, Neshcom,
Hi.
the maker of music, the hoster of all of Brian's shows, or the board runner. Or, you know what? He just makes Brian Rushwood a good man.
On some of them, I have, I'm not. It's not a one-man operation. It's not just me. But hello, guys.
You are the heart of it all. It's a one-man heart.
That's very disingenuous to Brant and John.
Heart of his heart.
Both
I
of
don't even
them
know who the
much
fuck
longer.
those
They're
guys
not
are.
here,
Fuck those
so
guys.
fuck them.
What we do here is we like to smash down hard on people that can't defend themselves because we have the microphones. So fuck those guys. Sorry,
And
I
then
love
when
you,
they're
Brant.
here, we'll be like, I don't fucking the things that Bryce said. Like,
He leaned into it when we were on the pre-show, man. He was leaning hard into being like, let's fucking give credit where credit is due and fuck those guys.
Yeah.
Don't tell Bryce.
But no.
I mean,
fucking
get
E3,
away.
dude. Holy shit. It was a legitimately awesome year for the Electronics Gaming Expo.
I go
had
into these
shivers.
events like we all of us I think here follow these events, the gaming shows, the CESs and stuff, because we're fucking, as much as we all create stuff, we love to consume the shit out of it as well. I get nerdy as fuck. I sit at work because these go on when I'm at work, and like my boss is like, "What are you doing? Is there a fucking convention or something?" I've got my phone up on the thing. I've got like text feeds on the computers and stuff because the internet's bad at work, and I'm just like, I keep running back to it. I'm like, "What's happening? Oh my god, what'd they announce?" And I'm tweeting stupid shit. If anyone followed my Twitter during all of E3, I apologized. I was just fucking blowing shit up without any context, without even hashtags. I was just like, "Ooh," like 140 O's, like when something would happen. So if you weren't following along, I'm sure everyone unfollowed. But the thing is, what I want to say is that I think all of us here follow these kind of things. I always do go into them with a bit of a salty demeanor in regards to what they're going to be, and I always expect them to be shitty and kind of boring, or to be like, well, another year being let down by a fucking convention or whatever. But I genuinely had a fucking blast this E3.
Yeah, like we streamed the. What did we stream? Sony. We were all together talking.
We did the
I
Sony
think
one.
the Sony press conference and something Bethesda. I think it was Bethesda. So if you want to go look at that, that's over on the archives somewhere. But I know Bryce did some streaming during some of the press conferences.
Yeah, me and Brusselbury over in the Diamond Club chat. Brusselbury and Tinvec. We did some streaming over Bethesda, Microsoft, Nintendo, and Square Enix.
Okay, good. Because I did
it was
not
a lot of
watch
fun.
Nintendo, so I have no idea what Nintendo.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you right down here in my doc under talk to Bryce about
Great.
Nintendo.
And it's like, I'm not. So it's so funny because I guess Nintendo fans hated it, and I'm not like really a Nintendo fan.
Well,
so,
I mean, are we even calling their fucking thing a press conference? I mean, they got out of that game, right? And then just do that direct-to-video, pre-recorded stuff?
I mean, if you want to be technical, like, it is a press release.
I mean, even on bad ones, it takes guts to put your fucking people up on stage and put on those big things. And Nintendo, I don't know, man. Like, I want to like Nintendo, I do, but I'm just not impressed with their shit.
At some point, it's just diminishing returns, right? Like you see, I think if you looked at Microsoft's conference compared to the past couple of years, it was very toned down as far as like expensive like things. Like the most expensive thing is that they brought out one of those concept cars for Forza, but they kind of have to do that every year, just bring a big fucking car down in the city.
How many polygons were in that real life car?
That was like the stupidest thing that it was like you bring two guys out on the stage, they stand there while they have to wait for this fucking car to be lowered. Everyone else sitting there is like,
everyone else under it is going, what the fuck is above me coming down?
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
the car lowers
year.
and they're like, Forza. And then they show a video and then the car rises back up. And you're like, you rented a fucking $1 million car for that.
Well, it's a concept car, so that's like they started off the video showing the digital version of that car.
Yeah.
I mean,
then-
have they done in the because I don't follow this car shit, but have they done it in a press conference yet where they're just like, this is the new version of Forza, and it literally has more rendered polygons than real life cars. I mean, it's gonna get to
I
the
don't
point,
know that
right?
you can make that claim, especially on an Xbox.
Yeah, right. More reality than life. This car.
Generally, the way a
It's gonna get there, right?
announcement for a car game goes is we've studied cars for the last 12 years, and we've gotten it down to a scientific factor of steering and brake and gas pedaling and the way that the engine responds to how you turn into a corner, the apex of a corner, and then everyone else is just like,
I like my video games being fantasy.
Just give me Mario Kart and I'm cool.
Right? I give me fucking San Francisco Rush and let me do flips. I don't know, man. I don't want it to be
Well,
as
that
boring.
was last year. That was Forza Horizon 2. Like that's their arcadey one. See, they kind of keep going back and forth.
See, I don't follow it enough. I came on and during the Sony thing, and I was just like, cars, and I just turned the volume of the stream down, and I was like, let's talk about something else. I'm a bad person.
All the press conferences that happened this year, because you had ones that.
Well, I wanted to actually bring this up in regards to how well Nintendo did, or if we call it a concert. Do you count what they opened the entire conferences with? Is their Nintendo World Championship came back? Is that part of Nintendo's thing? Because that was a big fucking thing.
No, that's
No.
that's like a
They don't get
GameStop
points for
event
that?
turned up to 12.
They don't get any points for the Nintendo World Championship.
You don't get any points for something I could do at my local GameStop.
They had shirts.
Well, it was like I would put that on the same level of like the post-conference E3 streams, right? Like live demos. I think of it as just like a live demo that they did way, way early in the week.
But it was on stage. It had fucking announcers. It had fucking what? Sessler was up there, or who was it?
Pereira.
Kevin Pereira.
Pereira.
Same beast. I don't know.
Kevin Pereira, DJ and some dude from Twitch. I'm sorry, I don't know what his name was.
I don't know any of the kids.
Yeah.
They all looked a lot of confused faces for me, but whatever. They played the Mario game. I want to be the Boshi.
Super Mario Maker.
Mario. They played Mario games. The last stage, which is the only thing I tuned into, was they did some stages created by people in the Mario Maker, which pretty much just ended in one dude getting destroyed because you could tell he never played Super Meat Boy or any kind of platformer after Mario.
Well, I think he's like both of those guys are like speedrunners, so they're kind of used to like the physics of those games. But on that last round, when he got clobbered and he had a head start, they had changed the physics to the new Super Mario Brothers, which is a little more floaty. It's got a lot of like wall jumping shit. So
I was glad to see. I mean, maybe you don't give credit to Nintendo for it, but I was glad to see Nintendo doing something.
Oh, it was nice. I mean, it was cool to watch it, and it made me really want Mario Maker that much more.
I still don't like Reggie, so he doesn't get any points for anything.
Well, they didn't bring out Reggie, so
he was on what'd they do with the Muppet shit during Nintendo's thing? They
had this whole Muppet motif during the digital event.
As I told you, the way I watch it is I run back and forth to my phone as I'm doing real life work, and I just kept coming back because I would leave, like I'd hear the interstitial starting like between games, and I'd leave, and then one of the times I just walked by and I was like, is that a fucking Muppet Reggie or a Miyamoto? Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, they had the actual Jim Henson company make those puppets.
It reminds me of that episode, if anyone ever watched Angel, where they did the Jim Henson Muppets. No one watches Angel. Okay, cool. No one watched Angel. Fucking Joss Whedon, you bastards! It's a great fucking show. Get over there and watch that shit. There was one episode. It was supposed to be a serious, stupid sitcom, fucking with vampires and whatnot. Like season 5, episode 4. All of a sudden, it started up and everyone was a Muppet. The whole episode was them as Muppets, and it was some curse or something. But they were all just Muppets. It was amazing.
Yeah, I'll go fire up Hulu when we're done and just go watch that.
Fuck you guys. That was the best Angel episode, see? People know things. Good love for Whedon. But yeah, so I mean, this is gonna be super loose. I'm just gonna talk about everything because when we did the pre-E3 show, I just wrote down everything I could think that was coming and what you'd be excited about and whatnot. And a lot of those things happened, and it had a good beat to everything. So if you want to chime in on stuff, I might skip through things if they've got bat in the title. So you fucking bring them up if you want. If you want to start with that, you go. What Sony announced their Nightmare Mission bat stuff. Well,
so they announced that they have. Yeah, they. So
Batman fans went nuts when I turned that audio down.
So here's the thing, right? Like, I swear to God. The first Batman game,
You're a cop
last
now?
bad guy was. Shut up! The last bad guy was the Scarecrow, and there were these really cool, creative Scarecrow missions that were in the game. So they're bringing those back in what is the last Batman game in the franchise by this developer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
More bat for your buck.
Yes.
It means something to me.
I mean, I'm going to just go through the part where I have listed under Kaz is going to get mad if I don't mention these. Destiny expansion.
Oh my
and
God!
Batman.
Yes. Fucking awesome shit. Like fucking House of Wolves has added so much more content to that game, and then now, like with this new expansion, I think we're really going to get the space FPS MMO that I have always dreamed of.
No, you're not. But okay.
Cool. I will say good on Bungie for not just making fucking Destiny 2.
Yes. Which is what everybody thought that they were originally
that quickly
because
I mean, if they wanted this to be an MMO, I mean, you got to keep expanding it, right?
Right. That's
but like also that assumes that there's logic in the video game industry.
Oh, and it's also assuming they have an audience. I mean,
but here is what the problem was: is it's Bungie, and they've never really done an MMO, so their thought process was just persistent thing. And they never tried to call it an MMO, and I'm like, it's an MMO. Call it a fucking MMO. That's what it is. Like stop trying to go around it.
But I think you say MMO, and you're going to turn off all the Halo people that Bungie would naturally attract.
Yeah.
You know, at least when you say it's a persistent online world, they're like, okay, so I probably won't have to deal with like a subscription or like some fucked up, just like click to kill like Warcraft shit.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, it still kind of is, but that's what I get though, because I can't get into Warcraft. I can't.
So Kaz, you obviously love, and I don't know my own opinion of the game besides that I just look at it and it looks boring as fuck to me. But do you like it? So obviously it's got whatever is going to tickle your shit. Did you like Borderlands? Is anything like that?
I love Borderlands, and I'm still mad at all of you because I bought Borderlands to play with my friends, and I have it
still. I got to level 10 one drunken night, and I was like, "Yep, I know what Borderlands is now."
Me and Nikon stole a fucking bunch of keys from the internet and kept opening gold chests in Borderlands 2. Like that's we spent 2 hours just like, all right, I'm gonna walk away from this gold chest. Wait, I'm gonna open it one more time. Like. Fuck, I got a terrible gun, and that's what we spent doing in Borderlands. Like, that's my memory of Borderlands.
Well, once it really showed to me that it was just going to be missions that really didn't... I mean, the story had to take me, and it didn't. So I was like, okay, that's fine. If the gameplay's still fun, I'll have good. But the gameplay is all what Diablo is, which I really don't care for, where it's just, like, minuscule loot that's, like, a little bit better in one aspect. Like, this one's got 0.3 more fire damage than this gun, but it's all the same shit.
We've got 7 billion items is just like, that doesn't fucking get me hard, dude. Like, I don't care about that. I don't give a shit about your numbers.
when you inflate them that way, it's like, yeah, okay, you put fucking one extra pink stripe on the base of that fucking gun. It's not a new gun. It's not a new gameplay. It's not.
Oh, but it's green, so it's better, right? Yeah. So it's like it's not the same as the blue. I mean, fuck the blue, right? You can just
I mean, that's the same thing that has always existed in those realms of games. Is like,
and I refuse to chase that dragon anymore.
Color, blue, and then purple.
But they recontextualized it as a first-person shooter, so you need to kind of read. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's a bad game. There's like some fun in it, but it's yeah.
If there was a Call of Duty MMO, I'd probably be there.
Curdy Duty. So, yeah. So does anyone want to talk about Call of Duty?
No.
Okay, skipping. But keeping it on the MMO world of weirdness, MMOs. Division.
Yes, fucking
Tom Clancy's Division.
I'm waiting.
Kaz is coming into his own shirt right now.
Yeah. No.
I'm waiting for Ubisoft to disappoint me. I know that they'll find a way.
Right?
I know that they will find a way.
So we knew that they were going to show something about it. What we got was gameplay, with some scripted fucking gameplay with some. It actually really fucking excited me. For those that missed it,
it did, yeah.
It was three kids playing together in this MMO persistent world, and they were just talking on their voice chat through the game like they were playing the game, and it was all scripted, but it actually got a sense of how the game's gonna play out. So they were like going to an area, and the chick's like, oh, we should go that way. There's loot over there. We can handle those enemies. There's apparently NPCs. But there's also other players and everything. And so like any MMO, they were just like, okay, we can go take those guys out. And as they were about to go in, then they were talking about like their different classes. They're like, yeah, we got a sniper. We've got this. These enemies can do this. Another group of players, 2 players, walked up. And they were like, oh, shit, we can't take both the players and the NPCs. Let's see what they're going to do. And everyone was like on their mark. And then the 2 players went in for the loot. And so they were like, oh, yeah, let's go in and help these guys. And they all fucking took out the NPCs together. And then right when they're, I guess you have to get to a point where you can disengage and leave the level and take your loot with you. And they were about to like leave, and they're like, "Hey, let's fucking take these 2 dudes out. We can kill them, like you do in any MMO," which is really fucking cool. And then one of the dudes of the 3 in the group, like, they're all talking and shit, and he's hovering over his like leave party and fucking turn on them, and he fucking turns and kills them both and takes all the loot and leaves. And like her audio cuts out like as he leaves the party kind of thing. And I was like, that's good, right?
Except for the fact that like I love it. I loved everything they showed. It's just that scripting part. It's like it just automatically goes. That's not how that would go. That is not how that would go.
Well, one, they pretend like anyone uses their in-game chat.
Yo, who are these fuckers behind us? Like, hey, they're not talking. Should we shoot them? I don't know. I don't want to fucking fuck with these kids. I'm gonna shoot them. I'm gonna fucking shoot them. Watch. I'm gonna shoot. Oh, shit!
No, don't shoot them. Oh, don't. See, look what you did. Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then everything turns on you.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm glad they showed a lot of gameplay to it. Yeah, but Bryce, you're completely right. It's gonna disappoint. I don't want to get my hopes up. It's gonna disappoint.
They'll find a way to plug Aisha Tyler in there, or make some sort of.
So you don't like Aisha Tyler?
I see you're trying to play the Division, but you're not logged into your Uplay account, so all your loot is not going to carry over with your character. Sorry.
You gotta open your Uplay, which loads your Steam.
100 Uplay points, and then
we didn't program Uplay to have the right permissions on the folder where Uplay exists, so everything couldn't install correctly. Your saves haven't been saved. I had to steal Tomb Raider after buying it because of Uplay.
Of your Uplay folder, so we know that it is actually legit.
Tomb Raider on my machine through Uplay wouldn't save, and you had to go through like an opening dialogue before it was like a two I think like 5 or 6 minute thing before you get to a point where it actually attempts to save. And so I had to kept testing it with all their fucking fixes on their website by playing the game 5 minutes in each time before a fucking stream started. And I always said, fuck it, and I went to Pirate Bay and downloaded the game. And I was like, guess which one doesn't have the problem?
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
Angry.
That's what they get.
Which is what I mostly said during their press conference.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to get the big stuff yet. I wanted to actually roll through the sequels that are coming out of franchises so we can knock them out the way. We're getting...
I thought you said you didn't want to do the big stuff yet.
That's not the big stuff.
Boom.
The Metal Gear that's coming out. Anyone care? I care. I
Yes.
like it. I'm excited.
Yes.
I
watched that 40. I was very cool on Phantom Pain. I watched that 40-minute demo that Konami released. I am on fucking board.
Good. I'm glad. I'm excited. I love the story. I love the shenanigans. I'm bad at the game. Oh, soon on this channel, by the way, me and Sam are doing the one co-op fucking game that came out. The one that's
Ground Zeroes?
yes.
Is that co-op?
No, the other one, the one that was on the Vita that is now on the PlayStation Network for free.
Oh, not Peace Walker.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Online.
No. What? Metal Gear Online? What is Metal Gear
Yeah.
Online? I don't care. There's going to be one. Sam promised me that there was one that we could play over the internet together. It's free on the PlayStation Network right now. We're going to do it at some point soon. If he was here, we'd talk about it. He'd have the name.
All right.
Acid? Are you talking about Acid or Peace Walker?
I have no idea. He brought it up.
Well, yeah, I don't know why.
I was just hyping it. Just be excited.
Like me and Bryce were sitting here like, what? We named every fucking like Metal Gear franchise just now. Like,
I have no idea what it is. I'm sure it's on the wiki. But yeah, I'm excited for the new game. It's supposed to be the fucking final link about how you get from fucking, old boss to big boss to where he is in the fucking Metal Gear Nintendo games, where he's basically a Hitler kind of fucking crazy man.
supposed to be.
Supposed to be, yeah. So I'm excited for that. Sequelitis continues with the new Hitman franchise. People excited to play? You excited, Kaz? Now I'm going to play on.
I don't understand how you could be Kaz.
Have to fight now, or do you want to do it later?
I wanna have a fight right now.
Right? Okay, so look, they announced the new Hitman game at E3.
Oh, did they?
Now I will say, I now know more about it than I did during E3.
Okay.
But during E3, they did kind of come out and go, "There's a new Hitman game."
Mm-hmm. It was no gameplay, right? If I recall, it was just
No
all
gameplay.
CG.
No,
was a
because,
trailer.
because the gameplay is going to be different. All right.
Than
This is
the
going to be
CG.
like a single-player MMO. It is going to have like online-based missions, so
It's
you have like
online
time
leaderboard.
limits.
Daily missions and stuff like so. There is a few missions that come on the disc, and they'll give you like new daily missions that you can go into, set a top score or whatever. There will be like times
You've got to share your hits to Facebook so you can get extra hit points to play. You can go back to your house and build your crops.
and there will
Your
also
hit crops.
Yeah, your
there
hit
will
crops.
be limited targets. There will be targets that only exist for a couple of hours a day or just for one day, and you have to be able to finish that mission within that day to get those, to get that spot on the leaderboard. Look, I am all in on the fucking.
But you know
Hitman
what's great is that they described this entirely new system and didn't show any of it. In fact, you can go on Steam and pre-order this game in which they have absolutely no information about it.
It's
You can
just-
go and put
it's-
your $60 down now, and for a game that has no screenshots, has no feature list, has literally nothing.
It's just broken HTML code all the way through the
It doesn't
Steam
even
list.
tell you about this new online system. That's how little that they want to tell you about this game.
That's because all right, that game is a whiles away. That game is
So why are you pre-ordering it? That's the thing. It's an online
it's-
game. You don't pre-order
fucking-
online games.
people are playing games that are still in development.
Yeah, early
But-
access.
Don't you
Yeah.
fucking bring up dinosaurs right now. I'll leave this podcast.
and like so it is legitimately there for people like me who own all the Hitman games on his console and on my computer at the same time. Like, and
It's not to jump off the Hitman
So?
train, but like they showed maybe
I win.
37 seconds of very close up Victorian architecture, and then played a little bit of a overarching score, which just to everyone that is in the know means Dark Souls 3. Then showed the words Dark Souls 3, and all. I mean, then that's all they announced. They was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a game," and we're like, "Sweet, we're gonna get the game." That's on Amazon already for pre-order. It says because they wrote in the trailer 2016. And so, if you look at Amazon, it says release date December 31st, 2016, just so they can cover their bases.
That's their like placeholder date.
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, it's the same thing. It's people like me are gonna automatically be excited for any.
I
Hitman
almost put my
bullshit.
money down
That's
for
the
Dark Souls 3.
problem.
I'm sorry.
I'm part of the solution.
There ain't.
No,
there,
you absolutely are not.
there isn't a universe that I don't care if they actually put Forza inside of the Dark Souls 3 box that I wouldn't have bought it. I'm gonna buy it. I don't do a lot of pre-orders, but there's no way, there's no universe of Curly not buying a From Software game. It's.
Well, you're just stupid though.
I'm sorry. It could be a brick, and I'd be like, "You got me, From. You figured it out. You deserved it."
And you know what? Hey, From has a history, right, of solid online launches, right? They got the Dark Souls, they got Bloodborne, right?
Sure.
Square Enix does not have that with Hitman. Square Enix does not, like, it isn't proven that they will have an infrastructure in place
So
in time.
I can't talk much about Hitman because I've never played the old ones, which I will be playing here on the stream soon.
Okay.
Then I'll talk about it.
Just saying, you're kind of feeding into the problem.
Square Enix has a horrible history of anything online. If you look at their Final Fantasies.
Games, though. They're so fun.
Okay. So here's the thing, right? There's not even a pre-order bonus, so you don't even have to put this money down until the game comes out. Until
What if they
announce
run
a
out of
pre-order
digital
bonus.
copies?
Like,
I
there's
know.
literally not any reason to put money down yet.
Bryce, but what if I don't get one?
All right, we're off the Hitman.
What if I'm not the first person on the leaderboard?
I'm going through these ones mainly because I haven't played them, so I'm just going to mention them without much commentary. Dishonored, frequently
Sure.
franchise is
No,
a thing.
I don't care.
Everyone
Never
and their mother fucking lost their shit when I said I hadn't played a Dishonored, so I'm going to have to play it on the stream at some point for excitement.
I only
of the
just
new one.
started playing Dishonored when I knew that it was going to be announced,
Yeah.
and I'm like a half hour. It's good. It's a nice game.
Everyone and their mother has said I have to play it on very hard mode. I don't know what that means. Why? Apparently the
you're
game
not
is
gonna
too
make it.
easy
Good
on
luck.
all other modes. It's only a real game on very hard. Apparently, when I read on the internet.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm not trying to like.
Ooh,
I know you're
boy.
playing it now.
That
Whatever.
18.
Mirror's Edge 2.
Yeah.
It's a game.
I never played the first one. So
I'm excited,
I
man.
like
The chick is hot.
Right? Yes.
that's what sells games.
I love that. I don't know if you've seen the picture, but the antagonist for
Oh yeah,
this
looks
new
like
Mirror's
the
Edge
CEO
is the
fucking-
CEO of EA.
Oh no shit.
Yeah,
It looks
like
exactly
they
like him.
look
Let me-
exactly like each. Like the suit that dude came out on stage with from fucking the cover of GQ was like the same suit that they rendered
Fucking
into
identical.
the
I
game.
posted it in the chat. It's so. It's
Yeah.
it's hilarious at how like, almost I don't know how like blind it
Whoa.
is. It's either wholly intentional or totally blind.
I'll
it
shut off on the
has
quad.
to be intentional. Like it has to be intentional.
Yeah, I don't think you peel that suit off without trying.
Where are we going with this, Curly?
He is a villain, though. I mean, out of everything.
He works at EA, so
I think I watched another person recording or commentating on the conference, and like the one guy that was commenting, and he was just like, "I'd like your game more if he was the villain." Like,
there you go.
yeah, good times.
I don't know. I've heard good things about the Mirror's Edge games, but I have not
Game.
had the game. But I have not had the experience myself. So, I
Yeah,
don't know.
it is fun. It's a really unique sort of experience doing first person free running. Like I guess what is that? Dying Light.
Yeah.
Does that kind of now?
Well, Dying Light was like oh my god, a Mirror's Edge game with zombies. You know, like.
But then it ended up being Dead Island, right? Like I don't.
Well, Dead Island
Like,
didn't have the
it
free
was
running.
like a big thing, and then it disappeared the next week.
I played it. I played Dying Light. I stopped playing it because I graphically couldn't handle it. But I liked it.
Oh, like motion sickness?
No.
it's
Video
computer.
card piece of shit.
Oh, okay.
So you started running with too many bloom effects, and it was just, it was very hard to. It was a slideshow when I was trying to run from Zombones. So I just kind of got away from that
It
game.
was just so weird because that game was announced a long time ago, and then it came out, and it was this huge thing, and then it totally disappeared. I don't know.
Steve played all of it. He says he liked it. I don't know. I watched James play it. Iagavos, who was on the show last time. He had more fun exploring and climbing instead of actually doing the game. But
Yeah,
I might go
But I
back to
found
Chimera
like-
after all these games are done.
I found like kind of as people went through the story and got closer to the end, they just did not enjoy the experience.
It seemed to be
the deeper they went in.
I didn't give a shit about the main character. I was hoping it started off where it seemed like there's gonna be a little bit of a mystery attitude about what he was about and where he was from and stuff, and it just got to be more and more that he was just this bland nothing thing. Everything he stated that seemed like it was just not enough story written, like it was like an outline. Everything he stated where it seemed like he was trying to not give out more information was just literally the information. I was like, I am a soldier. I do the thing. It's like, okay, fantastic. Unlike Mirror's Edge, where it's just like you actually get a lot of like feeling with the person, and it's stunning and beautiful and all that bullshit. Fallout 4?
Oh no, like dude, I'm replaying through Fallout right now. Like I'm replaying through Fallout 3. I ran into the weirdest problem. Ran out of bullets.
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah. But no, like I'm super excited for more Fallout.
So why?
It's just been a really enjoyable experience. Like, I'm either in a game for one or two reasons. I'm either in a game for a story, and I'm just like, all right, there's shitty mechanics, but there's a really awesome story here, or just gameplay that grabs me, which is what most FPSs do for me. Like, gameplay grabs me, so that's why I'm there. Like, I love Hitman for the gameplay, not the story. Like, I just like being able to...
What? No way.
Wow.
This is my
digging
time.
deep on that fucking Hitman.
I'm sorry.
No, but Fallout is one of the games where I legitimately enjoy everything about it. I enjoy finding every little detail. I enjoy the stories. I enjoy the gameplay. I enjoy the whole mechanic. I love it. So I get really excited when those games come out. The only other thing that's like that for me is fucking the only other thing that's like that for me is GTA. So
I'm worried about Fallout 4.
Okay. Why
I'm worried
is that?
about it. Because how long has it been since Fallout New Vegas came out?
Like 6 years.
5 or 6 years. Okay. So obviously they're trying to get new people who are new to the franchise. So they have to sell them on like the basic fundamentals, like, oh, there's branching conversations. You can play first person, you can play third person, you can play VATS.
Yep.
And so I get that they kind of have to do that.
If it wasn't for this stream, for instance, like I would have no idea what VATS is. I would have really no idea that it's. I mean, I would guess it's post-apocalyptic. I would guess there's something about a nuke because of the name. But coming to it as someone, because I have the experience of being a pretty brand new consumer of the Fallout series, because I just started playing them for the first time.
Yeah. Well, but thinking about like watching that stream and coming from a point of like, well, a lot of this stuff was in 3 in New Vegas. Like, I'm just not totally sold yet on some of the new features, right? Like, I really hope that they're not using Gamebryo, but it looks a lot like they're using Gamebryo, the game engine, which is buggy, and I'm worried that their console versions are going to have all of the bugs that the PS3 one had. I am not totally sold on the home building and the town building stuff or the crafting stuff. Like neither of that. Like if I wanted that, I would go and play Fortnite, which is out like now, right? And so like, the response when I've mentioned that to people before is like, well, you know what? They've said it's optional, and they're really upfront that it seems mostly optional, but like. Then what else is new for me? Like,
well, so I'm at the point where for me I'm playing New Vegas for the first time. It's a brand new game to me. Yeah. I saw when I'm like the guy who doesn't have or who is like your friend who you convinced to watch Doctor Who, and you're trying to explain to like the person that there was like a year and a half between those 2 episodes, and you're like, everyone had to wait. And we discussed it, and you just jumped, and so you need to take some time with your emotions or something, you know? So, to me, I saw it, and I was like, hell yeah, more of the game I'm enjoying. So to me, all that you're saying is great.
I just...
Newer looking. So what I saw that I liked was that I feel, especially in New Vegas, I feel super disassociated with my character.
Sure.
In Fallout 3, I really enjoyed opening up with the whole, even though it was a little silly and gimmicky, as a baby and getting to know that you had a dad and you had a connection with this character's storyline. And for the most part, the whole main mission was his storyline. New Vegas, it's like, it's
kind of like, what
I'm a mailman? Like,
what
what is my motivation? Like, why was I dealing with these fucking dicks in the first place?
Yeah, like they don't
I
really
know-
do a good job at explaining just the whole background of like, yeah, actually, the intro to the thing you just watched. Yeah, no, that actually happened. So good job
And so
skipping
Fallout
it, nerd.
4, it's like, you got a character, he's got his family and his kid, and then he goes through the process of whatever. And then they showed some of the dialogue portions, because one of the first things that someone said was like, who cares about making your stupid character creator thing if you're never going to see your character in the fucking game anyways?
True.
But when they showed some of the talking bits, they were actually like doing like over the shoulder cuts back and forth between the two people of yourself. So you actually get to see your character talking and doing
So
stuff.
you wear a helmet,
Or you wear a helmet. Yeah. Or a toilet seat or whatever the fuck.
right?
Which most people end up doing. Like you end up like, oh man, this helmet gives me +5 intelligence. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the game.
No, because I hang out with Megan, and I always like. I make fun because I look at the stats and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna wear this armor. It looks like shit, but it doesn't match or anything. But it's got this thing I need, and then I wear this hat, which is a fucking fishbowl or something, and it gives me whatever. But like Megan's like, oh no, I wore the sexy sleepwear and the cowboy hat for the whole game, and that's her enjoyment of it, which is great. And people do enjoy that, so that's cool.
But I think the other thing too is so Fallout 3 is the Bethesda game. And then you come into New Vegas, and that was done by
Obsidian.
Obsidian. So now you come back to 4, which is now in Bethesda's hands again. So that's the one thing that has a lot of people excited, because New Vegas was real split for the fandom of like, there were the people who were like, fuck it, it's not Bethesda, and they fucked up, the way this works or that works. Like people who got really, really, really too into the like meta game and not the game itself. Like, oh, if I wear this armor with these guns and do these numbers on my stats, I can fucking kill everything. Like people who were like that, like went into New Vegas and like, I can't do that. Oh, fuck these guys. Like, so now for those people, it's like, oh, back in the hands of the people who know how to make a game for me. Cry, you whiny baby bitches.
Welcome, Sam.
What's up?
Oh, Sam's here.
Hi.
Sam, that is his name.
Hello.
Sam, Fallout 4.
We
Are
just
you
got on the
excited?
Fallout 4 subject. So I'm gonna lead into what I was gonna mention at this
I
point.
I'm not gonna avoid it. I don't want to play that piece of shit.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, damn.
I would like to hear your
Base
information.
building,
Sam?
come on.
Well, so
Dog
the
fighting?
big
Hold on.
big headlines.
Sam, I'm glad that you're here, but you can now leave.
The big headlines for it are okay, so I'll just talk about the ones that that won't just be weird. The base building, first of all, is the big headline, which is I'm with Bryce. I'm jerking as well. I don't care.
I'm negative jerking. My
yeah.
my jerk off is like no.
It's
This
a
is no
tease.
jerk
It's
off.
the dick is here, and you're like, no, you're not getting this.
Hello,
Oh,
Bryce.
yeah,
I don't
I'm
feel
like-
we've met.
Beep, 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 beep.
Nice to meet you.
Bryce, Sam, Bryce.
And I when I was streaming the commentary over it, the first thing I said was, "Who gives a flying ass fuck?" And everyone kind of jumped on me, and they were like, "I do. I want to do this." And I don't understand
I'm one
why.
of those people who fucking jumped on you with a brick. Like
I know. I don't understand why. I need it explained to me. Single player
I don't know
games.
yet.
Single
What they
player
told
games
me that I
with building
need,
and,
so I
and
must
housing
do
is
it.
stupid.
We're talking base
Public
building, right?
housing.
Yeah, so in
Yeah.
Fallout 4, they touted the whole thing where you can make a home and you customize it with your own shit and trash
You
and
can
fucking
have Brahmin caravans
Yeah.
going between your cities that you're building because
What-
you can populate the entire
sure, whatever.
Right.
of Boston with your
Yeah.
own towns.
It's the same reason I never fucking cared for Animal Crossing.
It's also, I mean, think about if we go back to Skyrim and they had infinite quests that were supposed to make the game last forever for everyone. I think it's gonna be the same thing. It's like, it's
Oversold.
you didn't have to. Thanks, Bethesda, but maybe make it a 2-player co-op instead of.
If I could
all
bring
extra
one
fluff.
person in and show like, dude, I fucking decked the house out today. I put a fucking staircase up there. Put the dog in the room. Cool. Posters on the wall. I would give an inkling of shit about it. But I'm gonna get
But
into the
single
game.
player, bro.
Dog.
And so I think I'm fundamentally missing something because I was looking at something about Fallout, and I'm just because the game is 6 years old. I'm playing it new for the first time, but there's like all these like articles or that people have written of like how to have a really fun run through your replay of Fallout New Vegas or whatever. And it's like where you like you roll it. There was one about rolling dice for all your stuff, and then you role play it out. So like you don't make the decisions, you roll them and stuff like a D&D character.
Huh.
And
Okay.
and one of the sections was like where you're gonna live, and I'm like. and there's all these listed places of like, I guess where you can live in the game, and I'm like,
Yep.
I don't give a shit. Some guy offered me a house, and I was like, thanks. I'm never going back to this.
Oh yeah, no, like that is the most frustrating part for me of watching you play that game is like you don't finish any dialogue tree ever.
I do.
Just
Well,
like,
no,
no,
when
you
there's the
don't.
boring
No, you
questions,
don't.
I skip it. I close it all off.
There's a lot of things you don't finish dialogue.
I think
like you.
For me, it's interesting because I mean, I feel like I get tugged along in those games, Fallout, Skyrim. I do like all the quests. I do most of the stuff I feel is pretty normal, but for some reason, Curly will just end up doing the most bizarre thing. Like, he's the guy who literally turns his head to the main quest and just goes out into the wastelands and misses everything and somehow still manages to make a crazy adventure out of it.
I play it like I would if I was really there. I think as real as my decision making trees are. I'm like,
I think that's one way to do it, but oh gosh, how do I explain it? It's so hard to explain, man. I guess we should.
He's just wrong, is what it is. He's wrong and he's dumb.
well, see, like, so yeah. So I'm sitting here shitting on the whole house building idea, but I'm also the difference is you give me a multiplayer game with house building, and I spent 9 hours yesterday until 7 in the morning, fucking building a second story on our stupid Dino Pen house. Okay, and only because I can't wait to get on there after this stream and be like, guys, how'd you think of the house? Let's build some farms and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
See, for me, that adds more meta to me, where it's like, okay, so I can have the caravans come through here and fund me being able to buy that other gun from that dude so that I can do that quest or
Ain't got
that
no time
go
for that.
there and fucking just kill all the death clocks and get that achievement.
I don't know.
I don't want to look like. I don't want to fucking babysit a fucking town. I want to go travel the wasteland.
No, well, but see, what would be interesting is if you could take your town that you're buffing with your sweet crops that you're making from your distilled wateries, take them, form a militia, and fight a cave of super mutants with them or something.
And then,
but really, it seems like from just what we saw at E3. You're just building a town, and then you're constantly defending it from attacks, because that's what's going to happen.
It's Clash of Clans. It's Clash of Clans.
it's an excuse to not make real content for your game.
Well, we'll see. That hasn't been decided yet. It could be icing on the cake, or it could be icing.
Yeah.
A sugar heart attack.
But guys,
So
you can
naked.
make pixel art in it.
So this is actually one of the things the last note I have in Fallout 4 in regards to stuff that I've seen in the news regarding it, and I don't know why it's that big a deal. So I wanted to ask you guys who have played the game before. The dog doesn't die
What are you talking about?
in the new game. You can't kill the dog.
Who knows?
That's kind of
There's no dog death.
that's the news is that you cannot kill the dog when you could have killed the dog in 3
or
in New Vegas.
nothing can kill the dog. The dog can't die. Does that matter to anyone? Why is that a news story? I was wondering myself.
It's
So-
all of it. Why are people?
If I tell you that, it might mess your experience up of the game.
That's good. That's why you play Fallout, is because you want to get radiation poisoning, grow a third arm, and lose all your best friends to.
So all right.
disagreements.
So that whole
Like
thing
XCOM.
locks into the companion thing, because the dog would be your companion, and if you had ever fucking finished talking to anyone in Fallout 3 and you found dog meat, you would have gotten the dog as your companion. And what happens is, you know how you walk into a fight and fucking throw a grenade on the ground and be like, "What's gonna happen now, bitch?" You can kill your companion, and then if you proceed through that story, your companion is dead. So them saying you don't have to worry about that companion.
So I can strap a collar of grenades to my dog and send him
Yes.
into the room.
You saw
here,
you saw the E3 footage. The guy didn't have to go help the dog, or didn't have to deal with the dog. The character that they use in E3, that you see in the trailer and everything is like this generic white guy with a dog.
You're gonna be purple with a blue
That's the character
mohawk.
that's promoting the game right now. But it's infinite possibilities of who you can be. You could be a
Yeah.
dog-eating maniac.
Named
Conan in the
Carlos.
chat makes a really good point. Is that if the dog can't die of its own volition, they might kill it in the story. that suddenly the dog becomes an integral part.
They're gonna aggro it.
Oh,
I don't want
okay,
to. I don't want to stipulate on what the story may be because
Yeah.
You heard it here,
that could be
folks.
See,
interesting.
the funny thing is, to me, like, depending on how it works, like, I don't want to be locked in to being able to find a companion, only for one thing, because I know I could find that dog, and I bet you Curly couldn't.
Still, I don't believe you. I think everyone is trolling me that there's dogs in Fallout 3.
There is
There
a
are.
dog
There
in
is.
3 called Dog Meat, and you fucking went through the quest to find him. You just did not finish the dialogue tree.
You don't even have to do a quest. Like sometimes you can just fucking find them.
I found dog meat in Fallout 3 randomly.
I don't. I
Yeah.
think you all are fucking lying. I'm sorry.
No,
I
Oh my
played the
God.
shit out of that game, and I never found a companion.
I'm gonna tell you this.
And now I'm pretty confidently done with New Vegas, and I haven't found a companion.
I watched you playing New Vegas the other day. You were in a town with a person that you can have as a companion. You went up to them and then went, "Oh, I'm gonna go talk to them." And I'm like on my keyboard, like,
Bethesda doesn't know how to make a good game. That's all. That's what it is.
or mouse.
Sure.
I don't know.
Shut
I don't.
your-
I think it's a testament, as to
Yeah.
the truly openness of their games, which is why we play them. It's like that's what it is.
Because like, all three of us are right here are like, no, yeah, I've had a companion, and you're like, no, you're a fucking liar. Like,
I just the amount of people talking about it and the amount of me not having it happen to me is just weird to me. Because
No,
I
it's
also
just-
didn't
Like,
find a
we're not
companion
pulling your
in.
chain. Like
I didn't
I
find
know
a
you don't like to
companion
look this
in
stuff
Skyrim.
up, but like motherfucker,
I played Skyrim and I couldn't find a fucking companion either.
Skyrim was hard to find companions, especially
Okay.
if you don't talk to people.
I talked to everybody.
Well, they become
You
more.
go, you go.
They're more of a burden.
what's going on in this town? And they go, "Burp-a-derp-a-derp-a-derp." And then you go, oh, that's the same dialogue tree as that other guy.
Yeah.
I had him. No.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah. I know how the game works.
Talking to people. God damn it.
All right, we don't have to make this the Fallout 4 show. That is just needed to be talked about. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna play it. I don't give a shit.
I would love. Oh, God, I just wish it was slightly co-op.
Yeah,
But me be the
no.
effing
Someone
dog, you know
someone
what I
brought
mean?
it up to dude what was on every fucking panel on every show about Fallout. Johnson McWhite guy.
It's fine.
Someone said to him directly that was like, "Hey, what are you guys' opinion of multiplayer stuff?" And they were like, "I think our market right now is very single player. We're gonna focus on that. We don't really want to do anything because all that stuff sounded really cool for a fucking online video game."
That's also a really like, that's also the answer you give when you go, we tried it and it broke everything. So we gotta go back to the drawing board.
No, it's a total
and
cop-out.
really think about this
Yeah.
in a way
But,
that
like,
doesn't break.
Well, think about Bethesda, right? Like, would you want an online Fallout game that was to Fallout what Elder Scrolls Online is to Elder Scrolls?
I'm not
No.
talking that's extreme.
Don't
though.
jump that.
I'm just saying, like
Well, because Elder Scrolls Online is
you got to
colloquially known
compromise
as
somewhere.
is the great single player
The
MMO.
compromise is you play as the husband and the wife. And you're
When
sitting
they
on the same
showed
couch.
the woman and the husband at the mirror and the character creation, I was like, oh, please let it be 2-player. Just please let me rock into fucking Fallout Land with Sam by my side.
I'll
It would be
your
glorious.
wife
no, it's going to be a story thing.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be
a story
one-
thing, and it's the optional switch of like, do I want to be a dude? Do I want to be a lady?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Or do I
ESO
wanna
is terrible.
be
A lady dude.
genderless?
can't-
Well, okay, what are the
No,
chances
can't
that what are the chances that Fallout 4 has microtransactions?
0.
Like pretty good, right?
How do
They're
you,
gonna-
how do you think so? For what?
they're gonna-
The bullshit?
Oh yeah, because you can see someone else's town in
Can
your
you?
game. I think.
What?
I think there's
No.
some. I don't
Animal
know.
Crossing
I'm
style?
speculating.
No, Bethesda pretends the internet doesn't exist.
I don't know. Now
Look,
we're in
I'm just saying,
speculation.
I've been playing Fallout Shelter. That was the number 4 top grossing app the other day.
I thought they said they had no
make
microtransactions
money
in
on
that.
No, they said that they have no pay gates. You can
Oh,
buy
yeah.
microtransactions out the ass.
Is it all fucking? Oh, you could build this if you gotta wait 4 hours or pay $1.
It's not. Well, and I don't have to get into all my gripes about Fallout Shelter, but it doesn't have any of that. All the builds are instantaneous, but what you can buy is these lunch boxes, which are random card draws of like
Yeah.
items and resources and people. And the game's a little fucked up because they give you a couple at the beginning of the game, and if you don't get good ones at the beginning of the game, it's way tougher to like maintain.
As
All
far
right.
as
So-
lore goes, that makes sense. How many vaults are successful in each game compared to how many that are completely wrecked? that
I've
you
been
stumble
finding some
across?
wrecked ones.
I love walking into a wrecked vault. That's like one of the best parts because you come out of a vault, then you spend time around the wasteland acclimating, and you're like, what? Vault 34 is like around the corner from my vault. You go in and it's just completely something bad happened. I love that feeling.
All right, Fallout 4, that's a thing. Speaking of 4s, Uncharted 4. Kids, ideas?
Pass.
You're passing on it.
I'm into
I
it.
have not played through the series yet.
So I am
I
one
wanted to kill
who
myself.
hated all 3 Uncharted games'
Yep.
combat system. I stuck with it because I really enjoyed the character development in 1. I really enjoyed the story, was amazing in 2, and 3 was a bit of a bore. But looking at the gameplay, it looked really fun. The craziness of the size of the world and everything looked amazing in that scene
I
that they
was
showed.
hoping for like a little bit more Last of Us-y combat myself.
That'll come out.
No.
Oh my god, I hated The Last of Us combat though.
I prefer that. The combat is the best part of Last of Us for me personally. Because story, anyone could write a fucking
Last of
know,
Us.
Indiana Jones
Last
I mean, I
of
guess
Us-
if you could, I guess if you could divorce The Last of Us, if you could divorce the combat from the stealth, you would have a really good system.
So I didn't understand really fully Uncharted's combat system until I played Last of Us and what they were going for. So Last of Us refines it, but the idea of you have enemies, you need to kill them or get by them somehow, but if they get alerted, then more enemies come out and you have to deal with the situation. And I never really fully got that because I could never kill them before they fucking noticed me in Uncharted. In Last of Us,
Yeah.
I had a blast playing it. It was really well done, in my opinion. But every scene in Uncharted was like, all right, I gotta fuck that one last guy of the 3 just alerted. Now I have to kill 45 men for the next 30 minutes of my stream.
The thing about The Last of Us gameplay wise, where I came out of it and it was just like, oh, that was an awesome story, and then when I thought about it, it was just like, that was really, really handholdy gameplay.
Sure, yeah.
Like it was just so like there was just
I
there was
I
nothing
played it for
about
the
it
story.
that I ever
really
found
I
hard.
thoroughly enjoyed the character creation. I loved the story that was being played out, the back and forth. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Like the only time I ever got in trouble gameplay wise is if like fucking Ellie walked too far and I'm just like, oh fuck, bitch, damn it, like fuck, that thing is gonna see you, and like
For me,
now I
it
gotta
was
like
the
you know.
tension of the tension between like, should I use my resources, should I use stealth, it feels more like a puzzle game. And it's like because there's options, I mean, but there's always tension, and so it's like, let's find the best route, let's try and make sure we don't get seen, and then when the shit hits fans, like, what do I have the most of to use, and blah blah blah. But yeah, Uncharted, that's a roller coaster ride of
It's action-packed.
restarts. I don't know. I played the first one, completely annoyed by the whole thing. It was really janky. The storyline was, I don't know. I don't like, in broad strokes, I don't like the white guy hero storyline, and that's most of games these days. That's why I was kind of annoyed by the Fallout 4 trailers, because it's like, oh, Nathan Drake is your star for this trailer. Whatever. That being said, it's just so cliche. It's so cliche for me, personally. And I don't know. I'm not excited for anything that Naughty Dog does. And I don't like.
Well, what do you feel about the new Tomb Raiders? Because Tomb Raider has like distinctly moved from very technical platforming to a similar sort of
Very
roller
Nathan
coastery
Drake-y.
experience.
Yeah.
That has a little bit more of that little bit of that extra layer of stealthiness that is fine for me, you know, and it has a lot more exploration than like.
So
I don't know. I
in
guess I
Tomb
only
Raider,
played the first Uncharted.
you get lumped into a zone, and then you kind of have to get to an area. Versus all of Uncharted is like corridor.
Let me tell you exactly. Now that I'm in the mode now, I'm going to tell you exactly why I don't like any of the Naughty Dog games besides Jack, and Jack 2, and Jack 3.
And Crash?
Those games are fun.
And Dexter.
Crash Bandicoot's terrible in my opinion. They tell you how you should feel throughout all of their games. I think Tomb Raider does that a little less. It's like you're just kind of allowed to. I mean, yeah, she's crying and pulling things out of her, but that's pain and anguish.
The
But
amount of spikes
in
I put
Last
in that
of Us,
woman's
they're
head.
telling you should feel like a dad for this girl, in Nathan Drake, The Adventures of Nathan Drake, you're telling you should laugh because these characters are quirky and they need to survive. And it's just a lot of like, it's more of a movie experience.
It is.
You know, it's like it's not allowing me to experience something organically. It's like, how do we?
I think that's the best way I would put like what happened in The Last of Us, especially with the combat. Is it's on rails.
Mhm.
It is so combat on rails because you can put everything down to a time. You're like, okay, like I went through this level already, so this dude pops out here, boom, I can shoot him.
Yeah.
That dude's gonna walk, but he's not gonna turn, so I don't have to. I could just stay right here. Then he's gonna walk back, boom, walk past him. You know, and each stage becomes a better rail. And then fucking Last of Us just turned into like, if you got a ladder, you fucking made it. Like fucking ladder simulator, fucking 2012.
I very, very openly have expressed my enjoyment of Last of Us, as well as some of the Uncharted games that I just mentioned in regards to their caveats. But that being said, I've never, in any of the times that I've talked about best games I've ever played, or games that I say this a lot, where I mention like my favorite games are the ones that define gaming as its own genre.
There's nothing wrong with enjoying stuff. I mean, I don't know. I don't have like a higher standards. I just know that kind of storytelling does not work.
So I'm enjoying it because it's a movie, and what I didn't enjoy about it was the parts where it made me play its stupid game parts. But I don't look at it with any hatred for it. But I don't give it any accolades for being a great game, because it would be. And then a lot of games are like this. It would be better in a different genre.
But what if you? But what if you compare it to the games that are in its genre, like a Gears of War or a Halo, where you've got these kind of covery type shooter games?
I meant to say
that
medium,
are just kind of like,
medium.
Man, fuck story. Like,
well, they wouldn't be any good because the gameplay part is
trying to get.
There's their story there. It's called bromance.
Uncharted 2, for instance, is my favorite one, and it's. Oh my god, that was an amazing cutscene. Oh god, I gotta fucking kill these guys now and play this stupid, put the controller in my hand. I don't want to do that. I just want to go to the next scene. That's all I want to do. And I liked it for that, but it would be a better medium if it was in a movie or even a book or whatever. And I always all my top games are games that they define the medium as its own art form. Stuff like Fez, stuff like Tale of Two Brothers. You can't give that experience to a person in a book format. You can tell them the story, but you can't unless you play it physically as a game. It's the only way to experience that art.
And Uncharted 4 seemed, from what I've seen of it, I've seen probably everything that everyone else has seen. It's still trying to blend even more so the whole cinematic storytelling with the gameplay. And then we watch someone play through it at E3, and it looks cool because it's happening. But if you're playing through it, driving a Jeep through a city,
I can't wait to watch someone play it, or have people watch me play it, because it's just a movie we're all going to watch together.
Yeah,
well, make sure your controller is charged.
I'm still, right. Still excited for that. There's a lot to go through, guys, so I'm going to just pop out of shit without any kind of
do it.
No whimper.
Yeah.
The Star Wars thing, Battlefront.
I haven't cared about Battlefront in a long time.
I don't care about Star Wars, but that trailer made me want to play it.
You're still wrong about that, but okay.
Any opinion? Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
I'm just saying, I haven't played it in a long time. It is a multiplayer, fucking shooter thing. That's what I've always known it to be. That's what it seems it's going to continue to be. It's just going to be better.
Space bears, machines, cool.
It's got a lighterness than any of the, like, I used to love Battlefield, like 1942 and Battlefield 2.
Mm-hmm.
But they've gotten too intense for me. Too, like, I'm afraid to jump into that multiplayer space.
What happened in Battlefield, seriously, though? When we played Battlefield as kids, it was the one where you could get fucking 64 people in a server, and then you could ride fucking blimp or a fucking tank over the bridge or whatever.
Experiment a little bit, but that was us playing, But if you jump into a server,
I went to play Battlefield fucking 2077, and it was Call of Duty, and I was like, okay.
See,
that's what's
the Star
popular
Wars
in
Battlefront seems a little lighter, a little bit more playful, and I'm kind of excited for that.
It seems like that in a video, but I'm telling you, when you get in there, it's gonna just be another FPS multiplayer shooter.
Honestly, I just want to play with you guys. Like all my most fun multiplayer experiences in the last decade have been with the DKG crew. So
see, I don't think we've ever in a group played a actual legitimate besides fucking.
Speaking of Sam, we were trying to think. What was the Metal Gear you promised we could play together?
It is called Metal Gear Vita. I don't know what it's called right now.
Peace Walker or Acid?
Peace Walker, thank you.
Peace Walker. Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
co-op.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
trying to figure that out. Like me and Bryce were naming every fucking.
I didn't-
game
I-
in the fucking
I didn't remember
mythos.
Peace Walker having co-op, but I guess it does, huh?
Yeah, well, it's got 4-player. It depends on what mission you pick.
Are we all
the boss
Snake?
missions are 4-player. They can be. You
We
can
all-
do them yourself, but they're very hard.
Can we all be Snake?
Also,
Yeah.
also, I keep suggesting this to you, and then you keep going. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Fallout 3 has co-op missions that are really fun.
How?
Not Fallout 3.
3
Fucking,
has
Oh.
damn it. No, fucking Far Cry 3.
Oh yeah, we
Far
haven't done
Cry
that yet.
3 has
Sam did
these
that
really
shit.
cool, fun co-op missions.
Yeah, I did it with
that I think it would be fun for us to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But
Speak-
yeah,
Just
no, like,
Cause 3.
about the Battlefield thing. It's going to be Call of Duty type thing with Star Wars mapped on top of it. So you'll have all that fun. You'll have the AT-ATs that you can get in. You'll have all these
Space
these
bears inside
big-
of
They have like a third person mode that they showed a lot too for the the infantry, and I think that in and of itself, and just the playfulness of Star Wars, because Star Wars is not a serious franchise. It's a toy franchise to sell toys and comics. Just that playfulness is so much more. It's like I'm fighting this goofy ass 4-legged robot. It's just silly. It's just silliness, as opposed to like, oh, I'm fighting brown people in a desert. You know, like that's like intense.
Yeah.
It's got to be escapist, and I don't know. I think it'll be more fun.
Yeah.
My character looks like a butt with eyeballs on it. You know, it's like
Thanks, LucasArts.
yeah.
Fuck, I'm not gonna even talk about Doom. You want to talk about Doom, Bryce?
It looks really pretty. It looks
Sure,
really
yeah.
pretty, and I like the snap mod idea. I like the snap mod idea. And you were implying earlier that you were down on Doom.
So the only reason I wanted to bring this up out because I was gonna lump this in together with the CUDA duties, the fucking all the other bullshit shooters that are out there.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's what ID Software showed is another fucking.
What is Snap Mod?
So they released, after they talked about the game, the single player and all that stuff, they released that they were like, hey, this is going to be for the multiplayer world in the community. It's a level creator, a level tool
Okay.
inside the game. So you can use your controller in the software that you own. You don't have to go download something else to make maps for your friends to play on. And they called it Snap Mod because it's very like you can pick a room, size
Like
of
room by
room,
room,
and
yeah.
and they all have entrances and exits. You can snap them together to make a corridor or whatever.
Okay.
So I saw
And they're
that. I saw that
cross-platform.
and very quickly saw, oh, that's what you made your levels in for your single player game. And then I looked at it and I was like, great. So it's gonna feel like if you ever played any generic indie game that has room after room that's kind of like what's it called? Fucking procedurally generated.
Fear.
You start to like, okay, well, this is the square room, and this is the room with the 4 exits, and then it snaps into this corridor that goes into this room that's got 2 exits, and it's a Y, and it's outside of the fucking the trash that they put everywhere in the
Bloodborne
boxes.
for Chalice Dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be the Chalice dungeons for their single player, and so that made
That's
me
the new
even
thing, though.
less interested in their game.
Well,
Yeah.
Doom. The difference between Doom is because especially the demo, definitely had moments of just like a lot of corridors. And watching some of the like little snap mod things that they had, they definitely looked like that was what they were making.
The thing is, no,
there
NSW,
was
but
a-
you can't make the original Doom in it because the original Doom had like creative levels that were made, not snapped together fucking Lego bricks.
Well,
Like-
but I think there's a level of verticality that Doom has compared to Call of Duty's, as well as the Hell levels. Like I don't know how the Hell levels will work in Snap Mod, but those seem like really
More open.
vertical and very open spaces.
That old
like
jetpack.
I don't disagree.
Once that
There was a lot
when
of
the
like,
jetpack comes in. Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I wanted to say about it. It was just I was not interested, and then I was pushed even further into out of interested by that thing that they touted.
I mean, I have a dream Doom game in my head, and it doesn't. They poop on it.
I played a Doom
It does
mod.
look slow. Like,
needs to be-
for a
it
Doom
need-
game, all of the animations are so slow, and I don't know if it's because it was a CG trailer or what, but that was bad.
Oh, it looked
It
like
looked
shit.
really, the combat looked really fast paced. I don't know.
I would like it
But
slowed
they had all
down.
these
I don't like
big
the frame rate.
animations when you
slow.
got stuff. So I was like, oh, I got a shotgun now, so I'm gonna.
Oh yeah.
Oh, now I got a
little cinematic.
shotgun.
It feels like. Is that just for E3 presentation? It's
Maybe,
the double
like,
barrel spin.
I have a hard time imagining that's how the game will look on PS4 and Xbox One.
Well, all
So-
of those really fucking long animated kill moments where you do like a special kill. You know,
Execution.
you
again.
know
Oh,
how
Jesus.
boring those get after the third fucking try. Where you're like, I just want to progress. Don't make me do that again.
Yeah.
But it's
you
going to
kicked
be
him
the
in the
quickest
head,
way to
Curly.
kill
You
someone.
kicked him in the head, and then his head exploded.
Yeah, I think they should have. For me, I don't want to stipulate and say what they should have done. I would like to see more horror. I want it slow. I kind of like Doom 3 because it was so. I like the pitch dark and playing like, am I going to hold up my flashlight or am I going to shoot with my gun? Because it gave you a sense of fear, and that's because when I played the original Doom, I was like, this is the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life, and so I want
Can I
it to be
say- so-
scary, you know.
I don't have a history with Doom, but I liked that it wasn't another you're in a space station and it's a horror game shooter. Like I kind of liked that it wasn't as horror-y as
How
like
many
a Dead
of those
Space
are there?
or
There's, I guess,
Dead-
Dead Space.
an Alien,
Dead Space, Aliens,
um,
Isolation.
fucking all of these
um,
indie games that are
mhm.
doing, there's an
No fighting.
abandoned space station.
I guess my dream come true would be like an original Resident Evil game, like the Resident Evil 1 set on a Martian colony taken over by Doom. That I would like a survival horror. That's that would be my dream come true. Not this bullet hell, beat 'em up. I don't know what it is.
The
now.
only-
It's boring.
only
It
time
looks
I tend
boring.
To like those things, it's where it's kind of story driven, slightly on rails, and it's more about what we were talking about with other games, like with the Last of Us, where it's not hardcore on rails, but it's
Yeah.
just kind of the fear aspect, and you're this lone person trying to survive or get
Yeah.
to like off of this thing, but you do have the limited resources, which kind of was the cool thing about the first we just said what the
You
fuck
IDKFA and
the
then
ones.
use all your ammo.
well,
and
no, but it's just like, yeah, like if you run out of bullets, you're out of bullets, and then you have to like use melee for the rest of the time, or like not get caught by the monster kind of thing, you know. Like that's okay sometimes, but it is getting to a point where it's overused.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Were you excited at all
Yes.
about what was
Super
shown?
excited. Super excited.
Plus, day and date PC with the PlayStation release.
So that information was released later at the PC and Expo that it's going to be simultaneous releases on the PlayStation.
I think a lot of journalists right now are making up reasons to be scared of the game. They're like, "Well, but what if we get side? What if there's no story? And what if there's something missing?" And because that game is gonna be so fun.
So, my experience, my research for the last show was, oh shit, they're going to probably talk about No Man's Sky. Let me research what information has come out over the past year. And there was a bunch of YouTube videos that were put out with, basically showing the big gimmick, which is, space. You on foot, get in spaceship, fly around the planet, fly into the sky, fly to another planet, go into the atmosphere, get off the thing, and walk around, all in a seamless environment. And that's the big gimmick. And so I was like, cool. They have a bunch of these YouTube videos out. Sweet, I watched them. And then they were like, No Man's Sky up on the stage, and I was like, cool, let's see some shit. And it felt like I was watching one of those YouTube videos. The only thing that was exciting was that he was playing it. Like there was actual, guys, it's a real game, it works, not just a demo video. I saw nothing new that excited me at all. I don't see a game there. I still see a playable NVIDIA tech demo that I can walk
Really?
around in. What
I
am
have
I
the-
doing?
I have the idea that because they're trying to keep the whole reason that you're going to the center of the universe real hush hush.
Well, what am I
And
going to be
feel
doing?
like that's got to be integral to why you're doing this at all.
Oh yeah, they
It's-
did mention the whole that's the center where we're all trying to get to or something.
I think it's gonna suffer that same. If what you're saying, if your fears about the game are what, it's the same thing as what we feel when we play Terraria and Starbound and Minecraft. After you get to the highest tier of spaceship jet boosters, what is there for you to do besides
Yeah.
build a stupid castle shaped like a penis or something?
Well, so I just want a little inkling into what I'm going to be doing when I get on it and I find
Whatever
Sam.
you want.
No, but when I find Sam, what are we going to do?
the
You're gonna
one
go
thing
to
I read
new
was someone
planets,
found.
and you're going to discover species. You're going to discover structures. You're going to find plants. You're going to store them and get points. Upgrade your ship.
A big
do space
Metroid
battles.
Prime scanning fucking
Hell
game.
yes!
Yeah.
That's the only game that ever had me going like, oh, is that a new fucking
Yeah,
plant?
the thing I hope is like one one, I hope you can find your friends, and two, I hope it is like you can get to a planet, you start scanning shit, and you're like, oh man, this is cool. Look at that. We never found that tree. That's our tree now. Like whenever somebody comes here, that's the tree that we found, and we can piss.
You'll
on
be able
it
to
and say,
name stuff.
"Fuck you."
When you find stuff, you'll be able to name it.
Oh.
Just
Oh
playing
man,
Ark
there's gonna be a
recently-
fucking. There's gonna be a lizard out there named the Vagina Boob.
Well, there's probably gonna be a lot of filthy ass lizards out there.
Yeah.
Playing Ark recently, I had so much fun just traveling, just surviving and scraping by, trying to get across the map, plot out my course, looking. Oh, I can't swim across that lake. I gotta walk around it.
Yeah, but based on fear
No,
of
based on
the game
space.
mechanics killing you or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there has to be. I mean, there obviously there's going to be, right? But right now, it's still
There is. So there's a
Hold on.
whole like wanted level. Like if you mess shit up too much on these planets, then these like sentinels, which are like planet police, come and chase after you.
It's
and
gonna be other
make it,
players.
like,
It's gonna be.
no, they're like
A
they're
bounty
AI.
system. Okay.
Yeah, and that's
That-
only
those
if the
things are
planet
gonna
is
be
being
absolutely
policed,
hardcore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
or if there's life on the planet to be killed.
It was one of the demos that came out for a game that I was super hyped about, and I'm now less.
No, but think
Wow.
about this, right?
Yeah.
Right? We'll get in there.
I don't wanna
we'll
be.
have fun.
I don't wanna be
right?
this guy.
We'll all group on a planet because we're that dumb, and we'll start like resourcing that planet out, and then Nikon will Nikon it up, and we'll be like, you know what? Let's go to a different universe, man. Fuck Nikon.
We've trashed this planet. Let's get a new one.
The one story I heard is that some guys that have been playing it, they found fuel on a planet, some sort of fuel source, and they flew this fuel to another quadrant, and they sold it to make money. So they just started trading, just
Okay.
because. Why not? You know,
resources
that's their choice.
or whatever.
So what we could do is we could become pirates and steal their fuel.
Yeah, or make sure we own all the fucking planet shits and whatever. So like,
Think about the metagame of actually looking into like, instead of like people doing the metagame of DDoSing somebody's server and crashing
Yeah.
their Twitch channel, what you could do is you can find their coordinates on their Twitch channel and go and like raise and go and firebomb their colony on their planet.
Meet
And
me
that's
in
like
space,
that's like
motherfucker.
that's awesome.
I want to
Yeah.
not be able to fly until hundreds of hours of gameplay.
What?
I want
Dude,
it to be.
there's infinite planets, Curly.
Yeah.
What's
Just
the point
don't
of walking
use the
around on
ship.
one?
I want. So I want.
Actually, I think you don't
want
start
No
off with
Man's
the ship.
Sky to be the expansion or the end game, not the end game even, the next tier of stuff that's happening in Ark. I want
Okay.
I
Well,
want
mean,
to
if you
build
keep,
all of
if
our
you keep
metal
phrasing
bases
it around
up.
Arc, you're going to be disappointed. I feel like.
I want
Are
to
they sponsoring us? Is that what's going on?
I want to get to that point. I want to like we've evolved, we've survived on this planet. Now we start moving into space, and then using No Man's Sky's technology, we go to other planets, and we see other players on other fucking planets, slowly building up. They're in the wood phases and shit.
I mean, yes. I mean, like, yes. You're describing No Man's Sky on like a
It's putting this
95%
fucking
level
view
there.
of Arc on it, though.
Okay.
That, like,
It
is
really wants to
unnecessary.
spawn
Yeah, it
with
needs
no pants
real
on.
dinosaurs, you guys.
I want.
First, you must discover fire, and then you must discover how to wipe your butt with a leaf, and then you
I
can
want-
build a
I wanna
spaceship.
take
The
off
pacing of
that
Ark is
little planet
perfect, and I
and then
want
walk
more
into my
games.
own house. Is like it's like what Curly's
Basically
saying
what-
right now.
I don't
You
want it
take
to
a
be.
dump in
I don't
Ark.
want it to
You
be
should have to
Minecraft, where
change
you
your
jump into
pants.
Minecraft and then you find diamonds within the first 20 minutes, and then you go kill a dragon and you're done
Who
with
does?
everything.
Who does?
The game is over in an hour. Minecraft, the game portion of it, and then
Really?
it's just okay. Let's build dicks.
Curly was like pooping on Skyrim, and then he totally like I love this game after he's playing it. Curly is gonna
I'm-
be up like 72 hours playing No Man's Sky.
If
That's
there's game
guaranteed.
content,
There's an infinite universe of planets.
it doesn't
Randomized
mean it's going to be good.
planets.
I'm a bigger fan. Don't. We would just mention this with Borderlands. Don't tell me you got 40 fucking bajillion guns, and it's only because one has a green stripe and one has another green stripe. That's a little bit.
But here's the thing that makes it different between
I like
Borderlands, right? Because
handcrafted.
Borderlands, it's a random draw, right? It's random because they're all of these gun combinations exist, but it and this is all going off of implication implied things
Yeah.
that the developer has said,
Okay.
where that the game is procedurally generated at like an atomic level, so that there is some sort of crafting and genetics system in what you're doing.
He's rolling
Like-
a dice in a fucking loop, and it's fucking picking, eyeball one. I don't believe
a
his
sentence you
fucking.
said?
I don't believe until I see the code. I don't believe his fucking marketing speech.
So you're mad that there's not just 6 dinosaurs.
That's like when Sony came out and said they got cell processors that fucking run off of fucking DNA.
Baby, who hurt you? Who hurt you?
The whole fucking world did. Yoshi's Woolly
what else-
World. Does anyone give a shit?
What else do you
No.
have?
It's cute.
I have
It
so
looks
much
cute.
shit, guys. We gotta go quickly.
Oh,
It looks cute. It looks cute.
Yoshi's Woolly World. I want to vomit. Stupid. Fuck it.
Yoshi's
Okay.
Island was the best Super Nintendo, one of the best Super Nintendo games.
All
I
this
ever played.
bullshit fabric fucking crap. I don't care. It's cute. Whatever. I don't care. Fucking.
I don't know. It looked interesting until that girl on the YouTube stream started explaining it to me.
You got to get over her, dude. You got to get over her.
All the Nintendo news I have outside of the thing that Kaz wanted to talk about, I got the new Fatal Frame. Fatal Frame is being put in the U.S. again. They're talking about Fatal Frame in the U.S. That's exciting for me. I know not so anyone's bag of
Sam
shit.
care about that. You are
Just
only two
support?
people who give a fuck.
Well, no, they just mentioned that the new Fatal Frame games are going to come to America.
There are new Fatal Frame games?
Or they just said the words that I read on the article, I don't even know where it was new Fatal Frames will be coming to the American market.
I'd be down to look into that because I love number 1 and 2. I love them. They
The
are
only
so
way I
good.
was
But
able
if-
to play
if
4
they make
is-
some sort of arbitrary use of the Wii U pad, and it's just like silliness.
Yeah. I saw
But it's
someone.
great, yeah.
So I played the Wii
Fate-
one, the original Wii, Fatal Frame 4, because I had a hacked Wii, and someone took the Japanese one and put the English words in it, and put the ISO out on the internet, and I was able to play it. It was glorious. It was fun. I really didn't like the waggle stuff, but it was fun. Then I saw someone playing 5, and they were using the Wii U shit, and it was all the fucking big stupid camera stuff, and I was like, ugh, never mind. I'm never gonna bother.
Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater came out September 2014, Q3 and Q4 2015 for North America and Europe.
Vendi says yes, there are new Fatal Frame games coming to the U.S. I don't know
Great.
if they're
As long as they have the
I just
same
said
kind
it.
of
I think it's-
storytelling is implied. Because
So
that
they're
was great
new
about
to
Fatal
us,
Frame.
not new Fatal Frame games.
Right.
That's what they meant with that. Okay,
Curly,
fine, whatever.
Are you going to get Fatal Frame 5?
No,
New Fatal Frame.
nope. And the reason being is the same reason I'm fucking scared shitless of how happy I was. First of all, really excited to see it, and it looked really good. And then I saw the gameplay of the Star Fox game that's coming out. It looked good, meaning it looked like what I wanted. I just want more 64 Star Fox.
Yeah.
And I was like, sweet. And even Miyamoto was like, man, this was going to go in the sequel on the 64, but we just ran out of time, so we put it in here.
Jeez, what a bunch
But then
of
he spent
bullshit.
35 minutes talking. So you ever hear someone explain some art that they did to
Fucking
you,
idiots.
and it's worse for it?
I don't understand. I just
Miyamoto was talking about he was talking about Star Fox 64, and like I think some of the like Corneria, first of all, the opening level is crafted fucking perfectly. It's a great intro level. There's a lot of stuff to do. It's a fun fucking experience, and it feels good. Even just playing it for the 500th time I play it, I get in the cockpit and I'm like, yeah, I'm having a good time right now. But he was like, so I was inspired by these arches at this temple in Japan, and I was talking with my coworker one day, and I'm like, we should make a flying game where you can fly under arcs like these at this temple. And that's how they fucking came up with Star Fox. And I'm like, yeah, god damn it, Miyamoto, you're a weird ass fucking dude.
I don't know.
But they showed this whole thing where it's like, okay, you're playing the Star Fox game. Looks great on the TV. What they were showing on the TV looked great. Then the dude playing it was trying on your fucking giant tablet PC. You've got apparently the
bad.
cockpit view where you can point
In
at
camera
fucking
cockpit view.
on the thing, and it's like, oh, everyone can watch you play on the big TV where it looks like a fucking Star Fox game, but you've got to look at this so you can aim at people and shoot. And it's like, this isn't fun. He's like, look, I'm flying and I can turn around and look behind me. And I'm like, what are you doing? I know that you have the controller,
It's
but
not
you don't.
for you.
You don't have to use it in every game.
Some fucking 8-year-old who will run around the house like I'm Star Fox, and his parents are like, I fucking watch football. Please.
The original,
Why
the
do you
original,
need that
the only,
and the TV?
The only thing I thought was really cool about the Wii U originally when they mentioned that it was streaming from the system so that you could be playing your game on your big fucking TV in your living room and you're playing it, and then you can be like, I gotta shit, but I don't want to stop playing, and you can just take it to the bathroom and you've got the game on your fucking screen. But they're doing all this second screen bullshit with it, and it fucking pisses
They
me off.
have to find a reason to sell units.
Sell it to me because I can play the game on a fucking pad. I don't care if it's not my 50-inch television. I'm still playing Star Fox.
They have to. They fucking spent a lot of money and technology on that fucking tablet. They're gonna make you use it, bitch.
They goof.
All right.
Seeing
That's
people
what
seeing people
Nintendo
play
does.
platformers with their hands this fucking far apart, and they're just like, fucking my thumb isn't big enough. Fucking idiotic.
I've played the thing. I got one in my house, and I've played it a few times, and it's
It's great, right? You love it?
I don't know. No, I did not choose to. I would never choose to.
Other
to play it.
announcement: there will be a 200cc Mario Kart mission. Bigger engines.
A mission? No, I don't care.
I think
actually.
I think for me, like in my
How do you swipe left on these?
They did actually talk about a new Zelda, the handheld
No, they
Zelda.
didn't.
New Zelda on the
Oh.
handheld. 3-player co-op.
Triforce?
Triforce. It's something fucking Tower of Pisa.
I
Fucking.
can care less.
Yeah. No.
I haven't played any of the. I haven't played any of the handheld Zeldas, and I'm a fucking devout Zelda fan. I've
Well,
stopped.
obviously You're
Whoa,
not.
whoa, 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 whoa!
Not
You
any.
never
I
played
stopped
Minish Cap?
after. I stopped. The last one I played was Phantom Hourglass.
But you played Minish Cap.
Yes, yeah, that was before that. I never played Spirit Tracks. I never played fucking Painted World, or whatever it was called. I think that's actually the name of it.
Yeah, I'm done with
Your
Zelda.
sister, your girlfriend,
personally.
your mom, your good dad. Yeah. All right.
How many polygons are in the new Mario? It's not a new Mario Kart. They're just getting 200cc cup thing. I don't give a fuck. Fantastic.
Shut up.
So, Kaz, you said Street Pass?
Oh, it's the only reason I want a fucking 3DS
3DS.
is for like the Street Pass stuff.
Is that where, like, if someone matches your fucking blood type when you're walking by them, it dings and you fucking have a cup of coffee or something?
If they have Street Pass on and you do as well, it's just like, hey, how you doing? Oh, hey, how you doing?
You like
Wait,
Nintendo?
I've
I
heard of
like
this feature
Nintendo.
before.
How's that Mario, though?
Yeah. And then you can play games with them if you want and shit like that.
Wait, but was there an announcement? That feature?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know why he just brought it up.
You just want us to street pass you right
Earlier,
now.
I said.
Yeah.
Earlier, I said before in the pre-show, I said, "Does anyone know anything about the Nintendo stuff?" And you yelled out "Street Pass."
Yeah,
So
that's
I
all
put
I
it on
know.
the dock.
That's legit. You went, does anybody know anything about the Nintendo stuff? And I went,
Multipass.
Street Pass. That's all I know. Multipass. Like, that is legitimately all I know.
All right.
my
I
God.
thought you had some exciting fucking news. My bad.
No,
All right.
fuck no.
I'm gonna lump this
I just
all
went-
this shit together in the thing. All the VR stuff. HoloLens. Anyone opinions?
I'm still.
It's not gonna look like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm waiting for that Wild West to settle. I want the dust to settle and be like, these are the 3 hardware platforms. These are the 3 types of software that they use.
Yep.
And then, boom. And then I'll start caring about VR. But until then, like, where it's still like, you could buy this whole hardware thing, or you can only buy these goggles that
Get a
connect to your
get a
PlayStation,
unified
or you can
API,
buy a
give it
fucking
to
Samsung
developers.
Galaxy
That's
that
not.
connects
That's
to
not what you're
fucking
talking about. Is
things.
not going to happen. It's always going to be. Do you want to pay a lot of money to have a very limited but possibly more exciting experience? It's never going to be integrated full. It's just like the Wii U pad. It's not going to be
Yeah.
something that comes naturally. You're going to either want to take the plunge and have a moderate amount of extra content thrown directly into your brain, or you're just going to keep going on the straight and narrow of just regular video gaming.
Which is
There's no way they're
So-
integrated.
Here's the thing: is like, even if all this tech was great, like people literally ain't ready for it. Like, what were the minimum specs on the Oculus Rift? Like a 960 or a 970 or something?
That's Arc.
Yeah. Well, that's everything on PC. I mean, someday
Right.
that
Well, and then
5 or 10
that's not
years,
even
that
going to be
won't
Arc.
matter.
That's going to be Arc on low. Like, but like, like I just don't like for something like Morpheus. The power just isn't going to be there. You can't get enough efficiency by being a single platform to find that power. There's a reason we didn't see jack shit about Morpheus.
I've mentioned this before. My only excitement for any of the things in this VR spectrum or the wearable tech spectrum, which is what we're currently at in most of technology, is the transition to people wearing a lot more tech or integrating tech into their person. To me, all it is to me, and the only reason I'm excited, is that it's a stepping stone to integrating electronics directly into me. That's all I want. When you can just
But do you have a 980 in your
well,
stomach?
when I just buy the new upgrade to the fucking Nvidia eyeball and I can play my games directly in my fucking head, and I put a black magic card in my ear socket so I can Chobits fucking into the computer and stream to you guys. That's it. I don't care.
your off switch is going to be in your vagina.
Yeah, you fucking have to stick a broom handle up my ass to turn me off. Whatever.
Oh, no.
If Morpheus comes out and says you can play Morpheus with Grand Theft Auto 5, you can play No Man's Sky with Morpheus on, then
can.
I will buy it. No problem.
See,
No
I don't know
questions
about
asked.
that because of the like. stupid shit I do, like fucking driving a fucking car up to a cliff and then
just start throwing
tumbling
up.
down, and you just.
Oh my god! Oh,
Are you kidding me? That's the best. I can't wait for that.
I
Like,
already get because
throwing out of the front windshield and like chucking it all against the wall.
I don't have any motion sickness stuff with things like that, but I feel like maybe it's like a video game empathy because I've been playing games from such a period of time where I've had to not had to, but my entertainment was fine because for instance I play the old Final Fantasies that are all fucking pixels, and in my mind's eye, in my memory, like I remember like, oh, remember when they kissed at that one moment in that game? But when you go back and play it, it's just two fucking pixels and they like poke at each other for a second. But in my head, like that whole experience was a thing I have somehow fucking watched. So when I play games these days, even if the graphics are there or whatever, I'm not wearing obviously hollow lenses or whatever. Like when my character hits a fucking wall and falls out of the thing and then lands on a fence, I'm like, like how, that must have fucked.
Yeah, I love it.
But I mean, think about the first, like the first person experience now in something like Grand Theft Auto, where you're like, "Where's the car? Where is the car?" I'm gonna be fucking standing in my living room, like I closed the door handle. Like,
I think it's gonna be fun
All
though.
right, cool.
And I think it'll be really fun to have like just I mean it's another step into like Google Hangouts or this, to like we could do this podcast where we're just in like a 3D room and we're all walking around and whatever, and
Well, that's the thing with the Morpheus is that it's going to be I'm hoping that you can just plug it in your PlayStation 4 and then it'll be a fun thing. And once you get tired of it,
we need a
you just put it
unified
down.
API. We need developers to be able to start integrating and stuff.
Yeah, I think that is the whole thing I agree with as well. I don't want it to start being that this is now my game.
Only works with the
I want
Sega
it to be an
VR.
add-on. Yeah, I want it to be an add-on.
Oh, yeah.
I want it to
Every
be
game
like
must be played
well,
on a
it's
giant
like
screen.
3D. It's like 3D, right? Like it'll be this totally optional thing, and at least
Yeah,
with VR
but
and AR,
they
like people actually
tried.
are interested.
they tried to push 3D. They were like,
Here-
come on.
So
You
here's
know
an
you
interesting thing I think that will come out of VR and AR in 5 or 10 years, right? Because
It's way less than
what
that.
What have we got? What have we got now? We've got competing standards. We've got non-standardized products, non-standardized platforms, non-standardized power or graphics performance, right? What if we started seeing, because we know Steam VR wants to unite everything. So what if we start to see some hardware element, like you have a disk drive, like a CD-ROM drive. Like what if there is a VR drive, a Steam VR drive?
Yeah.
That you
One
plug
of them
in,
has
and
to
then
win
that
to do it.
handles. What?
One of them has to win for that to happen.
No, but like Steam wants to unify all that stuff. You unify all that stuff, or you get to like a ATI NVIDIA thing where you've got like two
binary,
major
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could unify it, or like you said, in 5 to 10 years, it won't matter because the processing capabilities will have advanced so much that you could just it'll be another like a plugging in a mouse, which probably.
Sure. But I think
Who
there'll
knows?
still need to be some sort of middleware at least where, my Oculus, which has face tracking, can work with, my Star VR, which has like panorama.
Yeah. Now some of the
viewing
API
angles.
stuff, since Oculus was one of the first and pioneers, the code is sort of, and it's not like you have to start from scratch when you're adding support for the Morpheus or whatever, right? Like, so that's a little bit of the push in the good direction right now. And so hopefully it gets to that point, or it'll be like some company holds out and says we've got the better way to do this, and it'll be FireWire versus USB for a while there, and everyone's gonna be like, "Fuck, I don't want to get. I love that camera, but it's FireWire, and I don't fucking want to go buy a FireWire card." Like,
I see. That's going to be Sony. I can tell you right now.
Sony does it. Sony tried to push Sony tried to make their own CD that
Yeah.
you couldn't play in CD players that are other people's CD players.
The PSP and the PS Vita memory cards.
Yeah, they held out with that. What was
fucking
that the Memory
Beta-
Stick Duo or
Memory
whatever?
Stick Duo. Yeah. Like the only time they did it right was Blu-ray, and that's only because Microsoft like definitely didn't do theirs right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a wait and see. That's what it is.
What were we
Xbox
talking
sort of
about?
backward compatibility.
Video games.
Good idea. But we've already seen that like Mass Effect, like which was already shitty on 360, runs even shittier now.
Yeah. And so I when I announced it, I was like, okay, how'd they do that, and why didn't they do it before? Because I thought there was just gonna be like pop your disc in the Drivo and it fucking goesies, but it's not all games. They're coding on the fly.
No.
So they said straight up like some of your favorite titles will be up first. It's
Right.
not everything.
Because okay, so I'm going to explain it. Right? It's
Please.
part of it is a rights issue, right? Like Ubisoft has to say, okay, do all that stuff because the way that the emulation is working is it is emulating a 360 and the 360 OS on the Xbox One.
That is straight up impossible.
In
Straight up
theory,
impossible.
almost every game should run.
It's
Pretty well.
not an emulation. It's got to be some more mid layer. There's no way they can emulate a 360.
It's fucking Microsoft. They fucking made the 360.
They can't emulate it. No, it's not even
How are you
a
gonna
chip
tell them
thing.
they can't do that?
You can't, because you have to emulate to the chips in software, and the processor is not fast enough in the Xbox One to do that.
Were there any good games on the 360 that you want to play over again?
The only way the Wii did it, and the reason that they had to take it out is they actually put the chips that ran the Wii or the GameCube in the Wii underneath the other chips. So it would switch into the mode of literally becoming a GameCube and switch out back to the Wii. That's how it did, because it couldn't emulate a fucking GameCube in a Wii. I mean, you can do it on a PC, but you can't do it in a Wii.
So, but how are they? You're telling me that the thing that they said is wrong. And that's cool,
they're
right?
going
But
to
like,
each.
what is?
They're going to each, because if they just literally emulated a 360, they could
They
make
are.
the games all work.
It's running the 360 OS.
But all of them. I mean, it's not going to be able to.
Yeah,
It would just
but
be
most of them.
It would
There
be.
will obviously be some that need tweaks.
It's going to be.
I guess,
It's going to
but
be a slow leak out of titles as they're like, okay, we'll do the Mass Effects. Those are big and popular. They're recoding them.
Well,
No, they're not.
Not
There are
from
some
scratch.
It's rights and quality assurance. Like Chimera said, it's a QA thing and it's a rights thing.
And they're not even doing that because Mass Effect was shitty on the 360.
All right. Well, it's a good idea.
I have that whole series, and I've only made it through like one mission in the first game.
Yeah, PS2 actually PS2 chips till they were fully shitty emulator and only 10% of the games. Yeah. 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 All right, anyways, fuck it. Sports ball shooters. Okay, new IP section. Last Guardian. Thoughts, fans, Phil? It looks beautiful.
That's a sequel. It's not an IP.
It's not. No, come on. Hey, you go hit up the fucking Reddit and talk there for hours about.
I don't care. I mean,
What we're
just
listening.
whatever. I was excited for the game, and then I saw it, and then it's just been a lot of like, there's a ghost in this room, and then the ghost appears, and it's like Santa Claus effect, Santa Claus man, and you're like, oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited for it because it looks really cool, and it's from people who haven't let me down.
Doesn't look as cool as Shadow. Nothing will beat Shadow of the Colossus.
You don't know. This might be it. You're gonna cry so hard when they kill that catbird dog.
Again. I'm gonna go back to Nathan Drake and last time on Last of Us. They're telling you how you should feel. Empathy for the boyish empathy for your pet dragon cat.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like being
Isn't it a
told.
griffin? A griffith?
Who cares?
Gargoyle?
Cat,
It's a
monkey,
something.
dog.
But they don't speak
Anyways,
English, so how
Shadow
are
of
they
the
telling you?
Colossus didn't tell you what you should feel. That you should maybe quest to kill these things, and then you organically felt sorry for the beasts you were slaying because their black blood was spraying on your face and they were moaning pain. This time you're just like,
I don't believe this.
I just don't like being told what to feel by a game. It's going more into that movie.
They're
that
crafting
cinematic
an
thing.
experience for you. It's not. It's better in a different genre. I would like to watch the Last Guardian movie by Pixar, but
That's
whatever.
what it is.
We don't know anything about this game. We don't know anything about the story. We don't know.
It's very. There's no openness to it though.
Did anyone see
because it's a
ReCap?
platformer.
It's just so linear looking. I mean,
Did-
what else? What else can it be?
Did anybody see ReCore?
Yes.
Yes.
It
It was a cinematic trailer, right? A
Yeah.
CG trailer.
Yeah.
Can you close the door or what?
A lot of feels.
Okay.
If you want to talk about something that's going to tell you how to feel, it's going to be ReCore.
Of course.
Like ReCore is going to be like the difference between ReCore and The Last Guardian and how they do it is that ReCore will probably not have any amount of subtlety or nuance to it.
The thing is, though,
They
with
kill the
ReCore,
dog in the CG trailer.
and you have the option
But you
of
have the soul.
using his core and recoring it with another thing.
Yeah.
Is what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
Last Guardian, you're stuck with this
Oh,
gargoyle.
okay,
You're waiting
yeah.
for it to get killed. Or
Yeah.
not.
It looked cute. I just brought it up. New IP. It's new IPs. I'm excited for new IPs to care about.
Me too. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Speaking
on.
of the note, actually no, I'm gonna save that for last. For Honor, the good version of Chivalry. Or
Yeah.
the good-looking version of
All
Chivalry.
right. Way to be rude.
I'm sorry,
Oh, I
Chivalry
don't
had
know
a
this.
market
I didn't see this.
of so it's like it opens with a big like castle-y fucking. You played Chivalry before?
A little bit.
Okay, so it's the idea of the real weighted weapons where you make a swing with it with a big broadsword. You're not going to immediately be able to get it up again, so that leaves you open for an attack. So you have to make your thoughts and plans. So they showed like a big, super large amount of like NPCs rushing at each other, and then they had playing characters on each side that kind of they were doing their shit by going through the NPCs and the little guys getting hit and whatever. But then they met up with the other players in the middle of the battlefield and were like fighting, and they were very much like trying to block it or when do I go in, and it looked really good. It looked really good.
The combat
Yeah,
looks
but
great.
it's Ubisoft, so
Oh, is it an
combat looks great.
Ubisoft joint?
it's an Ubisoft point.
My Uplay points. Get my
yeah.
Uplay points up on a board.
Yeah.
Only
what
Ubisoft thing
else?
I'm looking forward to is the new South Park.
I don't know if anyone else noticed this. Did anyone see the Cuphead game?
Yeah, I saw that.
I've been following that
Um,
game for a long time.
Is that exciting
They
to
keep
anyone?
parting out Cuphead. Cuphead is Microsoft's No Man's Sky. Like, it'll come out sometime.
They're just gonna milk it for every E3 and say they showed something cool. I don't know.
It's one of those games like, why hasn't this been done before?
It's
Art-
impressive. It's an
artistically
impressive use of animation as sprites.
And then you
Kind of
run out of your
old
money,
Sam
and then your
back
publisher
thing.
has to. Yeah.
Shit, like kind
Huh?
of style wise.
yeah, it's like the early like Steam.
like it looks like the Steamboat Willie,
Yeah.
kind of like old Mickey Mouse cartoons and
Yeah.
shit like that.
But
like,
they're doing that artwork in a video game that they're making. They made into sprites and stuff, which is it's kind of it's
Where all
just
the-
it's
where all the,
cool to
like,
see.
It's
you know,
trippy. It's
where all
trippy
the
shit.
black characters have big giant lips and
They get eating a watermelon. And
oh, sir, yeah, I'll dance for you. All right, I'm sorry.
Here's the worry about Cuphead is that that game is already way over budget and has already pushed its release date. And if everybody and their mom didn't go out and buy Cuphead, you ain't gonna see Cuphead 2.
I'm so not worried
Don't
about
make
it.
Cuphead 2. Just make another game. Cuphead's gonna be fine.
You won't see one. You won't see one
Me,
because because if Cuphead doesn't do well, they're gonna say, yeah, it looks really pretty, and it was not worth paying for it to look so
That's
realistic.
the chance that all these people are taking when they make a game. That's
Yeah.
just the way it is.
No, I get it. I mean, yeah, I yeah.
Don't play. I don't want anyone to play it safe and not and worry about. Oh my God, are we going to be able to make a sequel after the first one?
Well,
I
I mean,
hate
the
that
last-
shit.
The last couple
I'm not
of
saying
years
it's an
of
issue
video
of playing it
games-
safe. It's like there's so much animation on it. Like if they're already over budget and late on their game, it's like could they even pull it off? Like it's like kind of a little bit of a question
fair,
of like
that's
their
fair.
Well, I
technical.
mean, people
Will it?
want
Is
to-
it going to be finished?
And it's not more.
that
I
is a
don't
fair-
think it's about a sequel. It's more about will they take a chance on something so artistic
Yeah.
in the future for
Well,
any
all
project.
all I wanted to say was that the first time I saw Dragon's Lair in like an arcade as a kid,
Mhm.
blew my mind. I know it's not anything special nowadays, but it blew my mind the idea of this. It's just I have
Yeah.
that same feeling. It's like a dream almost. Like I'm in control of this like surreal landscape or whatever's happening, and it's not polygons. It's not flash animated crap. It's not like most games look like the cutouts of people of like whatever. So it has this for me. It has a really cool feeling of like a trippiness, an organic trippiness. I guess I don't know how to explain it. I'm excited for Cuphead, even though I'm gonna suck at it because I suck at this kind of a game.
New IPs: Horizon Zero Dawn.
I
Oh,
know
you mean-
nothing about this game, but I've already jerked off to it twice.
You mean the Killture 3 Wild Witch Zone?
Killture?
So this is the world.
He lumped like 7 games into one title.
It's because it's The Witcher from the people who make Killzone.
It looks to be cool,
And
intriguing.
Killzone started as a real series and then progressively shitty.
Yeah,
That is the
there's
Kaz
a
face
good chance there's
forever.
going to be a little bit too much gun porn in Horizon.
Someone screenshot
That
the
looks like
Kaz
fun.
picture. Damn it, never mind. He's back.
Ah.
That was a perfect. Kaz has a comment. Fucking picture. Yeah, no, it's for me. It's everything that I've been talking about here in regards to one way or the other. It looks like it's going to have some fantastically intriguing storyline, and it also looks like it's going to have some fucking fun gameplay.
Yeah.
And it's a new IP. I remember when it came on, I said, "New IP? We don't do that anymore at E3."
And it's a different thing. I've never seen anyone take take that idea of
Well,
humanity
'cause
starting over in this way, and that
I watched someone else.
Nier came out.
Yeah. I don't.
I never
I
played
tried to
Nier.
find out what that was. I couldn't figure it out.
They just announced a new Nier, and it's going to be amazing.
I
I'll have to
I
look
watched
into that.
I watched
I don't
someone
know.
else comment over the fucking thing, and he had the same reaction I did. He was just like, "Oh shit, a new IP," and he's like, "Okay, so we're working with post-apocalyptic, a little bit in the future." And then like he started showing like more of it, and he's like, "Oh, so like really, really far in the future?
Yeah.
Oh no, like really fucking far to the point where it's like humanity's evolving again." And how crazy, like, because just what that brings up in the thoughts of like
Yep,
being
yep,
like
yep.
the old ones,
What is
and
life?
they built their cities, and they had technology, and how did we get to this point where we're being, like, I love that.
Nanobots.
Yeah.
If
It's
if it turns out to be like Nathan Drake, like straightforward, like I'm gonna tug you along by your lady dick. If that's what it turns out to be, then it'll be less interesting. But if it's an open world type of thing where you're like hunting and you're doing quests, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It looked like a
You
lot of
kind of
fun.
had me. You kind of had me at Lady Dick.
It looked a
It's
little.
just kinda
It
tough.
did look like it might be just a little fucking compartmentalized. Here's a fight time now. Here's a thing. But who knows? It's brand new. It's fresh. It's whatever.
And it's a
Well, and
it's
it's
a
hard to
beautiful woman
disassociate
character.
it from
And
Gorilla.
yeah, I will hit that.
It's like it's. I don't want to hit Nathan Drake's chin again. I want beautiful.
I also think Nathan Drake's a very pretty man. So, but it's because he looks like Jeff Kanata. So.
Yeah, because he was. Never mind. Okay, sorry.
I will go either way. How about not Jeff Kanata? How about Nathan Drake and Horizon shit get together, and then they make babies, and then we get to raise them in a sim game.
And then you get the girl from Heavenly Sword. There's the timeline here.
That's the universe connection. Sweet. XCOM 2 was announced. Everyone played that.
The week before.
Can't
Doesn't
never
even
mind.
count.
I don't know. It's too
I
hard. It's too
enjoyed
hard
I
for me.
enjoyed XCOM. I actually beat that game, unlike the rest
What?
of you noobs.
You did?
I could never
Yeah,
get through
no,
it.
fucking-
I always lose
that's-
Alpha Team.
It's not hard, Sam. It's not
I
hard.
lose
I
Alpha
just get
Team
too emotional.
and Bravo Team sucks, and then all the countries pull out, and I get no more money, and I can't buy my jets, and I die every time.
No,
Yeah,
seriously,
no.
Sam. Like, I feel you on that. The first time you play XCOM, it is really, really.
You try naming
really-
every
it gets
character
you
after
in the
people in your
gut.
stream that you care about, and then fucking
They got nicknames. These guys got nicknames, you guys.
I'm gonna name this
My
one
Hulk-
Dad. I'm gonna
my
name
little
this one
Hulk
Mom.
died.
it should show him in the barracks and in between missions, like every character's like in their own barracks playing with their family, and like raising their
God.
kids and shit.
Like, it's got that memorial. You can go to the barracks
Yeah.
and look at the more, and it grows as more people die.
I will
Oh
tell
my
you, if
God.
you want to beat that game, sometimes you strategically have to let someone die.
That's easy.
because
for you,
they will
yes.
draw other fire, they will pull all the aliens out, and then you can pick them off.
It makes sense.
You know what
why
game
won
does-
now. It's starting to come together for me.
Yeah. Tangentially, you know what game goes too far in that direction and makes it like way under like emotional is Massive Chalice. Massive Chalice is like, yeah, everyone's gonna die, so it's like fucking bye.
Yeah.
Is that game finished? Massive
The,
Challenge?
but I will say this
Yes?
Okay.
before we go off on a tangent.
I think so it was
the-
early
the
access.
things-
I thought.
That I
XCOM 2,
saw for XCOM 2 that I liked was because this was one of the things, like if a character died, you lost that gear, right? So in XCOM 2, you can extract a person with the good gear, like, and keep that shit that they have. Like, so you're
Well,
like,
if you,
all right,
if you
we
start
need to
taking all
pull
the guns off of
out.
Tim, he's probably knows he's gonna get killed.
No.
You're like, Tim,
Once they
I need you
die-
to run out into that
like
field, but
bleeding out.
I'm
He's
gonna
like, "No, I
need that
wanna-"
sniper rifle off of you real
No,
quick.
Like, they went through the stage, and the dude was like, fuck, I gotta get out. Need an extraction. Picked up the one body he wanted to bring with him, and like went for the extraction.
I feel like this is just me personally. I'm not ready for XCOM 2. I'm not ready. I couldn't make it through XCOM 1. So there's
Oh no, I went through XCOM 1. I did the verses. Like I did all that shit.
Just play
I'm
their
not- I'm
Cayman
not ready
Echo. It's the
emotionally.
better XCOM.
And to put it in perspective, XCOM Enemy Within, or was it Enemy Unknown, came out
Yeah.
a little while ago.
I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
great game, and I would love to be able to play it good.
It's
Sam-
hard to make a tactical game like that that is
And I will
both
say
challenging
this,
and accessible. Like
The
they've been making XCOM games.
You can
for,
play it
for
on
like
your
decades,
iPhone.
So
I
it's really
do
good on the
not play
iPhone.
RTSs, for instance, right, or tactical games like that.
Neither.
I don't, and I fucking enjoyed the shit out of XCOM. So
yeah.
not RTS. Oh, it is tactical.
yeah,
I kind of poo-pooed the first couple times I saw XCOM, and then I finally bought it and played it. And I will say, like, I had that feeling of like kind of StarCrafty, like, bullshit. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna move this dude here. I know he has this range for this. I'm gonna leave these guys
Alright.
back. This guy's my tank. Boom, 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 boom. And I
no, Sam, that wasn't you. That was just from their Cayman Echo.
God damn, I hate you.
What?
You're a little loud, Sam.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
in the game.
That game that you fucking.
I was like, I'm
played that I
echoing now,
yelled at him
too?
about. No, it was that game that I yelled at him about, fucking, because he fucking gushed over the story, and it was like, it's shitty. And
So-
you're shitty at this, which is why you can't beat XCOM.
As an artist, Sam, you art. Did you see the Dreamscape thing? The Dreams
Yeah.
arty thing? The animation studio game thing with the polar bears and the fucking.
I can't even finish a map in
it's a
People Pursue.
animation
There's no way I'm...
thing.
Does that excite you to see kids these days making 3D graphical
No.
stuff?
I mean, yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
I would say I find it interesting as a lead-in, possibly, to somebody then going, I would want to work with real clay, but the way they are going to present it is like, hey,
I could boot up Maya and learn how to do this, or I could just play this game and not gain any skills.
I have to form an opinion on it because I don't have one, and it didn't really hit me as something.
Yeah.
It looked cool, but I, like you said, as an artist, maybe I have that bit of like jealousy of like, I wish I had the gumption to go into something like that game and actually make something out of it, but I know I'll never have the attention
You
span.
had Mario Paint, right, as a kid, and
No.
never did that stuff? Oh.
No.
here's the thing that I'm for sure this is going to happen, and this is going to be the thing that pisses me off, because it has like that flash thing to it where you can like make an animation and shit like that. Like that's kind of how they showed it. Like you can go in, kind of do this, and you can make an animation. There's going to be a Kickstarter, like kickstart my movie that I'm going to make in Dream, like, and
I mean,
Let
there are a
people
lot
put
of shitty ideas for Kickstarters that don't get funded.
And people make game in Flash, so people make games in this studio.
I don't like to be the type of person who says my game needs to be a game, but I was watching that review and I was like, what? Why?
Why is this being shown? Why is this on my
Yeah.
screen?
Like, not like when you have something like Source Filmmaker, you have like a real tool that has been proven to be used. There's a lot of models. It's already it is like got a Gary's Mod thing behind it, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Media Molecule, they've done the Little Big Planet thing. They've done the Tearaway thing. But I like, it's so weird for me to be saying this, but I don't see the point in Dreams. I don't see why this should be the software that people use. I don't know.
Because it's not.
It felt weird that they spent so much time on it.
It's very obviously not a tool, right? It's just
That's what I took away, is that there's not an gameplay element.
that,
It is a tool.
like, why aren't you just using a tool to make your thing in? I know that you, like, kids will play in it, and kids did that with stuff like
Minecraft.
Project Spark.
Yeah, but it's unfortunate though, because you're not gaining any usable skills for a thing you're doing.
Not standard anything.
Yeah, and it's not going to output to anything. It's going to be on the console. It's going to maybe fucking share to Facebook, and that's it.
I remember doing movie that it was a RTS called movie studios or whatever, and you can eventually like earn enough sets and actors to make your own movie, and I was super excited for it because I'm like, oh yeah, I love making movies. But then after actually like trying to play the game and making a really crappy movie, it was just like, oh okay, I'm never gonna play this again. This is it hurts.
You could do better with The Sims, like than
Yeah,
what you
exactly.
did
I mean,
with that
People
game.
do.
It'll
Yeah.
be interesting. I don't know enough about it, honestly. Dreams. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer once, and I was like, I don't know. I'm a gamer, not really into I don't know what it is. I agree. I don't know what to think.
So
about it.
my last two things kind of fall off on the same the point I want to kind of hit, I guess, which is both the Final Fantasy remake announcement, Final Fantasy VII remake announcement, and
Wait,
the
what?
If you didn't know, I was getting really excited. I was going to tell you. And then the Shenmue 3 announcement. And my point hitting is, I was excited. I fucking teared up almost, and I was on the edge of my seat screaming, "They're not going to do it! No way!" And then they, the music hit, and I was like, Final Fantasy fucking 7.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Final Fantasy VII looks like ass. So
Yes. So
It's kind of
then
funny because I was sitting around in the Mumble later and talking to like talking to the kids who watched the DKG shit, and they were just like, it was so funny to see you all trying to figure out what the fuck it was, and kind of being like, some fucking future, and then Curly just like, Final Fantasy. And then everyone else just kind of shut down, like,
because I've had time to process it now, and I hate that I'm excited for it, because I don't want it. I want it. I don't want.
What don't you want specifically?
I don't. It doesn't. I want better. I want fucking Horizons. I want people spending their time making new games and stuff, not rehashing these old ideas.
No, you got that. It's called Horizons.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like but there's obviously resources being spent on this. Like we don't. It's not necessary, which is why no one thought they'd ever do it.
I feel like Final Fantasy.
So that's where I got
Square
to.
Enix, the Square Enix that needs money is what?
I don't know. It's like the Resident Evil remake. It's like it's the most interesting Resident Evil game ever was the first one, and they remade it and made it more interesting. For me, Final Fantasy VII is arguably the most interesting Final Fantasy because of the way that it plays out, because of the characters and stuff.
And there's a lot of darkness in there.
Before and after are kind of like
I love it. All the concepts in it, really, especially for the time period of my life where I played it, the early formative years. A lot of shit. Was brought up in my head in regards to just life and how you live and everything, and it was all there, and it was a fucking amazingly epic storyline. So what I got onto after going, do we really need to spend the resources to remake it for people? It was what's weird about it, very specifically weird about it, and very specific only to Final Fantasy VII, is that like you can go back and play a lot of games and still in newer, because I want new people. I have a list of games for fucking Ace from the chat to fucking one day play, so that because I feel like I need to form her world for her, because she's missing so much that I cherish in my own history. Final Fantasy came out at a really weird time in regards to 3D stuff and polygon count, and no matter how many times they try to remaster it, it looks like asshole.
It does. I think that's the thing. That's the thing, though. Don't mess with the core gameplay elements. Maybe just graphically bring it up to like.
So that's
11.
where I got. With that.
That's what I would hope. That's what I hope. And so I'll play the game.
So I was like, sweet. That is something I'm happy with. Like, it'll bring it to an availability, because you can't sit a fucking kid now in these days in front of Final Fantasy VII and expect them to play it. I played it. I loved it, but it's very hard to look at. So I don't know if this is actually true. I did read somewhere that there is going to be core stuff changed. And
they say they will make deviations.
There will be deviations.
Maybe like a trimming the fat type of thing. Like
there's a lot of stuff that kind of, and they've already said that like some of the bathhouse stuff will be in this game. But like
I better get a fucking cross dress.
That game does have, like Sam said, there's fat to be trimmed from Final Fantasy.
Well, I better be able to snowboard down a mountain.
I don't know. I'm not good at these games because I don't have the attention span or the mathematics skills to integrate into the gameplay, and I just don't get it. You know what I mean? I'm not, but I want to experience this game that people are on about.
Flesh out a lot more.
I hope that if they do bring it back, they make it prettier, which they can't help but because it was so shit looking, but also make it a little bit easier for someone like me, which is embarrassing, but I mean,
Flesh out some of the Victor stuff more than it was done. More of the Nanaki stuff I would love.
I don't know, what are you talking about?
I dug deep in Final Fantasy, okay?
Okay, 1 to 100%. How do we see Gact in this game?
What?
Oh, God damn it.
No, I don't know what that is. That's like the silly putty stuff that you throw against the always...
You fucking scrubs.
Oh my god.
What about Shenmue? What about Shenmue 3?
So this is where the whole wrap up topic I wanted to bring up is the which has been talked about many times, the nostalgia gimmick, where you play on the nostalgia of us.
Yep.
I saw Shenmue's guy come up, and I saw that there's 3, and my childhood mind on the moment, on the spot, fucking blew a load, like all over the place. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, Shenmue 3, was Shenmue that great?
I never played through the Shenmues, so...
See? So, like, So the week after fucking thought process kind of just hurt for a while. After all of the like, oh my god, here it
But
goes.
I mean, there was enough people out there, and they have enough money that they funded it. So I mean, yay for niche audiences, I suppose. You know, is that for that one? And Final Fantasy VII could be a niche audience for people too that just don't understand it.
And there's
So
this
I
guy.
can see why it's been trepidatious this whole time for all that stuff.
For this section.
Final Fantasy VII is a niche audience.
Yes,
But it's also one of those
it
games
could be considered.
that-
I'm just
mean,
trying to compare it to Shenmue.
it's just one of those things.
Sure.
It's one of those.
But I
games
think you're comparing
in-
it.
It's one of those
You're comparing
games in
like
the
a
mythos-
low-selling game to
Yeah.
like the highest-selling game of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You know,
Japan?
that was of a different age. That was a while ago. So obviously, tastes and the environment have changed. But like,
But I think at the same time, they're two games from kind of two different genres that conversationally have lasted. You know,
Yeah.
like you always hear something about, oh man, the experience in Shenmue, and no matter what Final Fantasy is out at the moment, good or bad, people will always be like, oh, but you know, remember in Final Fantasy VII where like this happened, you know, like
See, I always thought my love for Final Fantasy was because of the time period of my life that I played it. But a lot of people have that experience with that game.
Yeah.
It's a great epic. It's a Gilgamesh. It's a fucking it's a great journey of story and
I don't know.
ups
I
and
enjoyed
downs.
10 was really good.
I
Oh,
think
fucking
what also
Blitzball can
another
suck a
thing
dick.
is comparing it to something like maybe Zelda, Shenmue being a Kickstarter by the original creator to finish his story.
I
he
love that.
originated.
I love
and
it.
also
I'm
Final
sorry.
Fantasy VII, which I feel is the most interesting Final Fantasy of the Final Fantasies.
I mean,
Um,
like it's had a movie, you know, fucking
Advent Children was great. I enjoyed all of that.
I think I would rather see a super high definition remake of my favorite Zelda game, or an original
Done by
sequel
From
Which I'll never
Software.
see.
or an original sequel that continued whatever it was that I liked about Zelda originally. And that's
see,
what
The reason you're
that is
never
not
gonna get
happening
that-
for Zelda these days.
Right, the reason you're never going to get that is because of who owns that IP. Whereas, like, Square Enix will milk the fuck out of Final Fantasy VII while still trying to push Final Fantasy XIV
That's
on
what I'm
you.
saying. I like these options for games nowadays. Like, let's
Yeah, yeah.
remake a really good game, make it beautiful, or let's kickstart the sequel from the original creator and make it really awesome. Instead of let's have a group of people that don't
thing
understand video
happened
games
with
make a
Grim
fucking
Fandango.
sequel.
I mean, I
that
know
panders to everyone.
Sony did it obviously because they knew it would garner such praise from everyone, but I do like, and I give them points for it for bringing up. I mean, they don't have their hand in the game at all, right? But they were just like, we want to be the ones to share that this game is coming out with this guy, and here's his Kickstarter, and let's break the internet, kind of thing.
Except that's
Do-
wrong.
Oh, except they're bringing it to their console only, right? Or first.
Sony is helping them. Sony has a third-party relations team that goes and helps and works on these games and gets them ready for certain. And Sony has said that they are putting up an amount of money to get this game done. Because guess what? You can't make
the
Shenmue 3
arbitrary
for
$2 million on the
$2 million.
Kickstarter is literally for no reason because they don't need it at all.
It's
That's
to
pocket
prove
money.
that money is there. It's to prove that interest is there.
Yeah.
It's a niche thing. So we should be grateful that we have things like Kickstarter to help back up our claims. Like, people are gonna love Shenmue 3. I'm just saying.
Well,
I don't believe you.
I love that we're living in a world where, and I think I mentioned this on the other show, that we have, a venue at this point for, and this just ties into what I do here too, that content consumers can directly make their content creators,
So that was the
their things.
other
There
thing.
doesn't need to be the publishers between anymore. I mean, there are still reasons for it, but you don't need it. I mean, you got fucking, Castlevania guy making his own Castlevania.
Well, now there's options, is what you're saying. There's options.
Yeah,
for,
when it would just go away. You got Toe Jam and Earl guys making their Toe Jam and Earl game. You got Banjo-Kazooie guys making their Banjo-Kazooie game. I love that. I love that that's the world we're in right now, and it's exciting for me, especially in the video game world. And I think that's kind of what I want to go to in regards to the ending of this show is that I'm really excited for the video game industry after this E3.
I think that's the big thing about this E3.
Normally
I'm
these
also-
things happen, and I'm like, all right.
I'm also really excited for a lot of these games, not even just to play them, but to see them be played. Like, there's a lot of these games that I am super excited to see someone else, like, see somebody on Twitch.
If only there was a place that you could watch someone play video games.
Developers know that now too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
you could have asked 5 years ago, or you could have pitched this idea to any developer, and they would have been, or developer but publisher. You know, people are gonna be watching. There's an audience for that. There's games that do that. What?
Yeah. I mean, I like watching the
Except in
Sony
Nintendo.
announcements because they always spend a lot of time on indie games, which is totally once these big publishers are going to implode or like totally reduce in some way, and like it's really great that fucking right after they announce Fallout 7 remake, we spend 3 minutes looking at all of the amazing Devolver shit that's coming out.
Yeah, the
of
Devolver
these
Digital
smaller
shit,
titles.
which is all of that is on my list of games to fucking play. Like, Devolver Digital is beautiful.
Like it's hard. It's a little hard to imagine that a publisher could be seen as a tastemaker and a curator of games,
right?
like Devolver does. Because like, it's a Devolver game, and so there's an expectation of like, it's gonna be a pretty fucking good game on some level.
I sit there before all of my streams that are Devolver games, and I'm like, they ain't let me down yet. I picked this game up specifically, and it's almost like just looking at the publisher, because I saw the Devolver Digital kids on one of the in-between interstitial panels, and they were showing off one of the games that's coming out, and they were on the couch with the developers, and they were like, and it was a little humble, but they were also just like straight up like, oh no, we don't do anything. We come to the developer, we see a cool game that we like, and we just pitch them ideas. And sometimes it's really cool because they let us be in their game, like with voices or whatever. But we don't do anything. Like he's like, we just put the name on it, and it's almost like I follow Devolver like I follow like a Total Biscuit or something who goes through a bunch of games and tells me what I might like, and I trust his opinion on it.
Yeah.
Versus a hand in the game development process kind of
It's new.
publisher.
It's a new way of doing business.
Yeah.
It's
and you can
exciting.
kind of see that Sony is putting chips in trying to become a tastemaker for indie games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think you will probably see more publishing houses try to do that. You will probably see a lot of failures, but I think it's really great that we're in a place where indie games can thrive with the publisher without it needing to be fucking Ubisoft and on the Ubi Art engine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they can be these smaller things that are a little more intimate, that you don't have a 2-year hype cycle. Like, it's great. That's great. Game.
I think it's
one
interesting.
year turnaround cycle.
Sony is definitely Sony is the company I'm happy, excited for. I mean, I know Microsoft is turning their ship around. They're trying to be more game centric.
So are we going with a who won E3?
No, I'm just saying, like,
says.
there's
for
the turn of that is
me-
Konami. You know, it's like the other. There's Devolver, and then there's like Konami, who's completely like washing it out.
They're all in fucking bath salts.
Because at the end of the day, people are just trying to make money. You know, so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't want Devolver to spread out too thin, or I don't know what'll happen. Who knows what'll evolve? Look, Nintendo was probably a really cool company at some point, but now it's just a bunch of the status quo guys. You know?
They're
money grubbing
a
Some
bunch of
Amiibos and shit.
They're a bunch of puppets. Like actual.
And you know,
puppets.
like the thing that sort of cushions that danger is that a Devolver is dealing with smaller games.
Yeah.
You know,
I
they're
think,
not the
I think
big-
it's a group of dudes who had the money and the desire to do it, so
They're taking
and they actually
they're taking
like
a risk.
games.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think Adult Swim is another kind of
who'd have thought that they'd be making fucking
the way they've
fun
grown
games.
like laterally and horizontally is crazy. It's like
Yeah.
let's hey, we like cartoons, let's do this. You know, let's make some video games while we have so much free time rolling in cartoon money.
Which
Yeah.
I love. I mean, because I've said this before about Adult Swim, and this is what I like to say about Devolver is I feel like they get me. They get you know?
They're not gonna hurt me like the
Yeah.
rest of them have.
Like they're putting shit out, and I'm like, stop fucking doing everything that literally fires on every cylinder. That makes me happy.
And I think that it's I'm not going to say uneasy alliance, but I think Sony is like trying to get that. They can see that there's potential.
You've got to
in
have
these
the
big companies.
personality behind it though, because Devolver Digital, when it boils
you
down,
got
is
Shu, you got Shu and you got Adam. You got Shuhei Yoshida and Adam Boyes.
okay, and that's the
You know,
whole face
they're-
behind the Sony.
That's the face of their
Yeah.
their whole indie thing, and like they are actually kind of like they did that whole when the PS4 was announced. They did that little skit with like trading a game.
Yeah.
like they're
Those guys
personable
got
people.
me. That's why I bought a PS4.
Not like this weird, like, false Prince Miyamoto type guy who's like, why do we like this guy? He made a couple good
I
games.
feel so Miyamoto. I hate it because I love him. I do.
And Philzame or Reggie,
Reggie's weird.
this guy is like.
But
I swear to God, he's like that weird kid that you went to middle school with or high school with, and no one liked him, but he just ended up running, being super.
I
rich
want to
or
go
something.
to
No,
the
he's the
Nintendo
town
office.
mayor.
I want a camera at the Nintendo office, and I just want to watch Miyamoto. Like, probably, I feel like he's got to be like Willy Wonka walking around, just fucking taking shit off of people's desks and slapping cakes out of girls' mouths and shit, and. Everyone's just like this guy. I want the interview or the footage of like the new intern who really doesn't know who Miyamoto is, and he just walks in and like stands on the table and he's got no pants on, and everyone's just ignoring it, and she's like, what the fuck is this guy? And they're like, no, you can't he's Miyamoto, you can't fucking do
He's
anything.
being creative right now. He's about to do
He's in
something
his space.
really amazing.
Well,
if
you
we
got
took-
Miyamoto, who is
I know right now he's
fucks.
just pissing on your desk, but there's something great is gonna come from this. Just don't worry about it.
well, and he's kind of being shackled to all these older IPs, even if they're like a Star Fox, where there hasn't been a new title in a while. Like I don't know this because I don't keep up with Nintendo very much, but he hasn't had an original IP in how many decades?
Well, it's always weird shit, right? Like that Nintendo's doing with I don't know if it's Miyamoto doing them, but like specifically like
Well, yeah,
Pikmin's fucking weird as shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just you can see someone like Miyamoto, or if it's not Miyamoto himself, just like, all right, we got plants, and they come out of the ground, and they're different colors, and they pick
he
up
just-
a bottle cap,
It's
make it, and then the coders make it, and you're like, all right.
basically what other companies, what they should be doing, like Sony, is finding the new. I'm sure Miyamoto was like this. He's a crazy indie developer at one point. Now
Yeah.
he's just kind of like floating around. He should be making more indie games and doing what he's. I don't know anything about him. He should do. I don't know what he should be doing. But
Sticking more anthropomorphic animals inside of other things.
let's look for more of these kind of like tiny geniuses. And maybe they don't deserve to become the CEO of a company, but let them make their creative vision. And I think that's all we can do as a society.
But as I said, yeah, to leave with anything, I'm
Yeah.
happy with video games. I'm happy to quote unquote work in the industry, sort of,
Yeah.
whatever you want to say.
Yeah. No,
It's going to be a
super
really
excited
great
I can't.
2016.
I am looking forward to playing video games.
Oh wait,
on
hold
your
on.
face.
Last thing before we do definitely end. What are we getting Rainbow Six Siege on? PC?
What's up, Sam?
Rainbow what?
Rainbow
Yeah,
Six
PC.
Siege.
Rainbow Six Siege.
What's
If
what?
we-
All right, really quick. Right, it's Rainbow Six, MOBA
Tom
style.
who?
So
Tom who?
5v5, 5v5, like in a little like just quick match making thing. So like you're the counter terrorist unit. The other people are whatever. They take over a house and they have a hostage.
Yeah.
You go in and you escape.
Huh.
And
I
I'm
can't wait to
excited.
shoot Ace in the face.
Yeah, no,
She's not on our fucking team. Are you kidding me?
I want to blow up the wall behind her.
She's
and
like,
then
guys,
run.
I'm gonna put this house back together, and I'm gonna make it good for this family. Like, you're supposed to be the sniper, but no. I'm excited about Rainbow Six Siege, and I just wanted to talk about it for that 2 seconds.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we're playing a lot of more Rainbow Sixes. I want to play some on the stream as well, so you'll see more of that.
Oh yeah, no, we should get Vegas and play through like some of the.
I put
like-
out a tweet, asked people if any which Rainbow Six I should play before to prepare for the new one or whatever, and all up and down everyone said play the Vegas one. So
Yeah. I will get Vegas.
Play the
I'm so
very
down for that.
first Rainbow Six, where you don't
Get the
even
hell out
see
of
your own gun.
Sam, that invitation for you to leave still stands.
pack up and go home.
Yeah. No. We're all gonna pack up and go because that is the end of the podcast.
That is the end of
We've
a
talked-
super fucking long podcast yet again.
Another 2-hour epic. But yeah, we talked about E3 this week. I'd like to thank Sam
Sorry.
and Bryce for being on. Both are music men. So Neshcon
great.
is a man who makes music. Sam is a man who makes music.
They
Yeah,
do the
maybe-
bleep bloops. Look at them go.
Yeah.
Give us an example of your music right now, Bryce. Go
Yeah.
with your
Oh.
mouth.
How about this? Tell people where they can find an example of your music.
You can go to neshcomplex.com, NESHCOMPLEX.com, or just follow me on Twitter at brycas, BRYCAS.
There you go.
They'll be in the
Sam
show
at
notes.
samhears on Twitter.
Steam Power Draft has a new album coming out. 2 new albums coming out this year. So
You can pre-order that
shit.
now.
You can pre-order Vice Quadrant. It's coming out later this year, and our another. We are making the soundtrack to SteamWorld Heist, which is
Sam's getting
basically
credits
done.
in a game.
Wow.
Yep.
Awesome, man.
So yeah, check all that stuff out
Weren't you doing a bunch of art stuff for them too, or was it for the album?
for the album.
Okay.
And I think there's a rumor that we might be playable in game.
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
we went up
Pre-purchase
to the
that
guy.
shit
We're
on-
like, hey, if you want to put us in the
Would
game,
you-
go ahead.
Is that on
Dude.
Steam? Is
What?
that coming to Steam?
It's I think it might be coming to 3DS first, and then everything else later. Just like SteamWorld Dig. SteamWorld Dig's everywhere now. You
Yeah.
can't not miss that game.
Cool beans.
Yeah, super excited. I don't know how it happened for me.
Thank you guys both for being here. Thank you, Kaz, for hosting.
As always.
Thanks for putting up with our horrible timing schedules that fucking go
Yeah.
long and late into the night.
It's part of the DKG mythos. Are we going to start on time? Who knows?
Is Kaz gonna flub his intro? Who knows? Oh, we know.
Probably.
Oh, we
yeah.
know. Yeah. All right.
Drop it like a black man drops a baby. We're here next week. As always, thank you for listening. Leave us a review in iTunes. Leave us a number of stars that equal 5.
Get it on
Yeah,
the
so
damn
go leave
iTunes.
5 1-star reviews.
All with really lovely fucking things. No, but that's it.
I've closed out the stream. Not the stream.
Yeah.
I've closed out the recording.
Stop.
No, I didn't.